underneath VWAP so far to start the overnight, but treat it like a Monday. First trade of the week should be a good one that you're confident in, not guessing like Austin said of a coin flip. So we're definitely going to wait for a good amount of information to really convince us on either direction. I mean, you got NQ flipping back bullish now a little bit more so above its VWAPs as well as ES. So
I just
moving along it as well. Always.
I wouldn't take the price action of yesterday and last night and make you think we are in a strong downtrend. We are still sitting at Friday's low. I look at that as like we are neutral. We could be long, we could be short today. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah, no, I'd want to see 6,800 get taken out with some with some selling strength to even look, because even I ended up taking a long and a short yesterday in Asia. Just and you can even see the direction. You could kind of see it play out, but there was, as much as you wanted to say like it was bearish overnight, it really wasn't. There was that move down after the open, and yeah, that was it kind of. And then we've just been trading below previous day's value.
How did you make out on those trades? Long, short?
Both winners.
Oh, good.
Yeah, so it was a short right off the open, or sorry, a long off the open into some orders at 68.70, and then a short off of the overnight VWAP. And I was originally targeting previous day's point of control, but it pushed right through it. So I added in and took profits at previous day's value area low.
Okay. So do you not like shorts above 6,800? Like you wouldn't short it from 30 to 6,800?
No, I'm just saying to see a strong downtrend, like how you're saying, like just looking at it that way, because you would think you'd want to see 6,800 get taken out.
You're saying that based on Friday's low kind of thing.
Yes.
I see what you're saying. Okay. Yeah, if you move this to RTH, I think we get a better read on everything that I want to look at today, because I don't want to really look at it overnight last night or trading yesterday. I just want to look at today's action. So I'm looking at 33 now as opening range low. Maybe that wants to hold, but maybe not. Like I could definitely see us wanting to sell it under the value area low, under what would be Friday's end of day kind of push down. So under previous day VWAP, could see it going both ways here.
Still, the daily chart is terrible. I know we're all on the 1 minute, but like just the trend we've been having is awful.
Well,
yeah, I can see a bounce from here when we find longs.
Of
course, but like shit, what happened to these days where just every week we came back in buying it? Now it's not so much.
Well, when you look at that, we're trading now at a price we traded at for the first time in October, bro. So it's like only now do people, like, we've been in this range, but I feel like more and more people are talking about it now as if it's a bigger deal. But it's like, go look back in 2022. We did the same thing before there was a little bit of a correction. So sometimes stalling at this high will lead to people thinking, all right, maybe markets will pull back a little bit deeper, which can create a bearish bias. I'm not going to give into that, though. I still see higher lows. I still see higher highs. It's just sideways.
For sure.
Yeah.
But opens
longs above POC at 44 up to 60 will be interesting. 60 is, I have previous day New York. I have more orders above than below. Like they're all getting gobbled up right now on the book map from 52 to 55, 57, 60.
Yeah, something I was asking earlier, Randy. This is the previous day's POC, right? In value area, but like with yesterday being kind of irrelevant with the holiday, like are these valid levels? Would you calculate?
So transactions took place at those levels. Just how many transactions took place at those levels? Because we didn't have the volume.
Would we switch to previous week POC value areas and stuff like that? I'm going to put those.
Well, that's all above us, anyways.
Okay, so that's all above us,
right? So we're still trading below all of last week's value areas.
Okay.
What I will do actually is, because what I've done in the past is I've left up Friday's value areas because I draw them normally.
Oh, dude, those weekly value areas are so far.
Yeah,
it's got to be up by like 7,000. We were rejecting them
all the way up to Wednesday. Yeah.
That's where we were getting beat up.
Like we can't get back above 6,900. You know, last week we were fighting 7,000, and then into the end of the week we were fighting 6,900 last week. So
you can see everything, but YM is above all VWAPs.
Silver's down, Bitcoin's down, gold's down, so metals are down. Stocks are pretty flat. Not overly bearish on them. Just looking at it. How's your CBD read here?
It's plus 1,600. It was negative coming into the session, then reset, and it's been increasing since.
Okay. Are you happy to be back at the desk, Randy?
Oh, yeah.
A week off is a long time.
I'm getting excited for Mexico because I'm taking my computer screens with me to Mexico. I'm literally taking
The whole
60% of
setup?
the desk, 60% of it, 70% of it. I'm taking
That's
it with
cool.
me. So
Nice.
I'll be working from a laptop, but I'll have my 32-inch screens that'll be running on a mount
Nice.
off of my laptop. So it'll be
Nice.
good.
Yeah, so everybody, a quick update I'll give you is I know a lot of you are coming to the boot camp in May. We are done selling tickets. So the button will be turned off at some point today when Riley shuts it down. The next thing that we'll do now that the room is full is I'm working on a VIP dinner for Friday night. So if you will be there Friday night, if you're interested in coming to that dinner, just keep an ear to the ground and an eye on your email, and you'll hear about it as soon as I have more details. You like that? Ear to the ground, eye on
what
the
else?
email?
What else you got?
That was
Keep
good.
going.
That
Keep
was
going.
good.
Is anyone already in along this morning on ES or NQ? No matter how you cut it, whether you're trading view ups or not.
I'm looking at chat, but I
Steady lift here.
don't see anybody in anything yet.
You never know.
Denny's, thanks, bro. Denny's was at the first one, bro. So it's cool that he's coming to this one. He was at the first one where we had like 15 people, and now we got
cool.
now we got
He's in
100.
Florida too, right?
First one was in Philly. He came to Philadelphia for that.
I bought that, and I
Yep.
remember it was like a little movie theater,
Mhm.
and everyone got T-shirts. I was like, "Fuck, get away!"
I know. Then I got really cheap. Became a
Yeah.
cheap Jew. Okay, so we traded up to
Listen,
60, right? We said 40 to 60. That's 20 points right there from POC up into the orders at 60, which is previous day New York VWAP for me.
I mean, Ina's long, and we're up 180 points here at the open on NQ, so doesn't sound too bad.
No, I think the long, where is it here?
I mean, pre-market highs is not too far away, at least here on NQ.
Like that's how I would read it, but like with that VWAP right there, like I'm never going to take that. You know what I mean?
So you have, oh wow, so that's regular trading hours because electronic, you're already above it.
You see what I'm saying here though? Like that's just too close. That's why I didn't jump into that.
Yeah, but on electronic trading hours, you're above that VWAP.
Yeah.
Somewhere here.
Interesting.
NQ and ES are pretty much in line, like how they both are broke value area low and previous day's point of control. I almost feel like I'm looking at the same charts. I have them side by side.
And what's YM doing?
9:30.
Often nothing. Look at YM. Just
don't
open that up real quick.
I don't
That
do
thing
that
is
open yet.
crazy, bro. If you try to trade YM in the opening range, you have some serious balls or gambling a problem. Like it's
Probably
one or
the-
the other.
Probably the latter.
Okay, Ina's already out of
Yes.
the long.
Nice work, Inna.
She's on NQ. Yeah, I think you're getting an idea here that buyers may be in control. That's a strong take. There's not sellers here under New York VWAP. So
Well, what are we? Yeah, we're already 10 points, 12 points off in New York VWAP.
yeah,
I mean, yeah, I got us above everything. And opening range is still forming, but it's all been buyers. So
I think I posted an Instagram reel this morning about like where I make most of my money. Most of the money is made after 10 a.m. everybody. So if you are here on your first week, if you're new, this is usual, especially coming off a bank holiday. We are not rushing into trades. Most days we're not even in a trade at this point of the day. We're not trying to call a bunch of ideas. We're just trying to win. So yes, thank you, Evan, for answering Gage's question. Okay, so now looking at it, there's orders at 65, and then the value area high is at 73. I have orders at 70. I think that's where it seems like we may be headed.
yeah, I mean, opening range 5 more minutes. You maybe start game planning. How would we long? It'd be break above opening range high, pull back to maybe POC or New York VWAP. If those
Mhm.
can line up together in a couple minutes,
Mhm.
trade it back up to the value area high. I mean, if this thing just steamrolls straight up to it, might have to wait then. But I'm not going to short it up here above New York or previous days, and even the overnight. Even if it was low volume, I'm not going to short it up here off of nothing.
Right.
Yeah, those orders at 6,800 didn't even get tapped through the overnight. What's the lowest it got? 6,804.
Now the entire dashboard is green. Drawing up.
Yeah, and remember, today it's going to read a little funnier. I don't think it's reading the regular trading hours correctly because yesterday there was none. So I switched back to ETH because now you can see we're still inside opening range, but everything is trending up. Orders are above. So it's telling us buyers are in control. You don't want to be a seller here. Question then becomes how I can focus now that Austin's hair is fixed. Why? What's wrong with my hair, bro? You're fine. My hair's great. Do we buy dips off POC?
Yeah, New York
Yeah.
VWAP.
Yeah.
Well, New York
Also
VWAP
bottom
and
of opening
POC are
range.
lining up nicely.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if we pull back to New York VWAP now or in the next minute, and we play a retest off of it for long, it's going to come before the first break of the range,
Right.
which has been a topic of discussion in the BSC of ideally we break out of one side first.
Uh-huh. But I want to trade, Evan.
Exactly. And it's not like it's a bad trade. We did it last week Tuesday and it paid. We did it Wednesday, it didn't pay. Nothing's
And
100%.
what you're speaking about specifically is buying it or selling it before the opening range is broken.
Yeah, but like after the range is set at least,
Yes,
right at
yes.
947 and it's
Yes.
bounced off VWAP,
I understand.
but there's no break yet.
I understand.
And then just trying to play the range.
Sure.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. It's just like, I guess let's see where that direction of the first break is and we'll try to go get the second one. But
Mhm.
it's also like, well, let's see what side the first break even is at.
Okay. Silver's dumping down 4.4%. Gold down 2.25%. Bitcoin's dumping. Look at that last couple of minutes here. Bitcoin 68 to 67,000.
Tough.
Tough.
Have you looked into that Ray Dalio's theory of this collapsing world order, like
dude.
economics and
No, dude. My true financial idol, Jeffrey Epstein, called Ray Dalio a pedestrian. So I'm going to just listen to that guy. If he says Dalio's a pedestrian, what does that make me? That's the real
Yeah.
question. What would Jeffrey Epstein think of us, everybody? If Dalio is a pedestrian, what are we? That was in the emails. That was crazy. When I read that, I'm like, cool. Good thing I didn't fucking read both of his books. I never even read. So I did that for nothing now, according to Epstein. Fuck.
Oh, that's awesome.
No, I
Okay,
read.
then.
I read.
Question. Let's just throw that one away then. We'll
No,
save
but
that
I
for
read. I
Monday.
read the Dalio. He had that write up that everybody's been
Yeah.
sharing. He was interviewed by Tucker Carlson. I read it. I had ChatGPT summarize it, so I fully understood it. It's the same thing he talked about in his book. He's just now saying we are at stage 6 of the cycle. Like he's pinpointing where he thinks we are. But the problem with him is you scroll to the bottom, read the conclusion. It literally says this is the way history has happened. However, the U.S. is
might
in a way
not.
different position right now than any other dynasty ever has been before. So maybe it'll be different this time. That's basically what the conclusion was. So I was like, this is a bunch of Dalio just being an old man like my dad used to be, writing because that's what old men do. Are you really giving me something to work with here? We know he likes emerging stocks. He doesn't like American stocks right now. Like we talked about in the Blackshirt Club, the Mag 7 is dead right now. The Mag 7 trade is dead. Money rotated. He sees it in emerging markets. He sees it in Europe stocks and in China, right? So I don't think it's anything new from Dalio in that write-up. That was my take on it. What did you think?
I didn't really have a take on it. That's why I was curious to get your opinion on it. Just I heard him on with Friedberg on an episode of All In a while back, and then
Yeah, he
I
thinks we're
actually
going
read
to
that.
civil war. Like you
Yeah.
said, they both think we're going to civil war. I'm not going to operate in that state. I'm going to operate in the state of like, we will figure out how to not have that happen and how to have the U.S. become the longest dynasty ever. Even if the dollar continues to lose value, there has to be a solution. Bitcoin, gold, something. There's something where American can hold supremacy, and American markets can still be the ones people want. So and like Santiago said in the chat, Dalio's a fear mongerer. Where do you get clicks on the internet, Randy? Not when you just talk about how great things are going. You get clicks when
For
you talk
sure.
about how bad they are, how bad they could be. Civil war. If we just titled every stream Civil War, we'd get more viewers. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, always remember that.
That does have a nice little ring to it, by the way.
It does. Silver Civil War.
No. Leave the first part out. Let's just go with Civil War.
Well, here's a pullback. So this is good.
Yep.
Yep. No break of opening range yet, everybody. So still just chill for a second.
I mean,
Luke said
pretty
UK
damn-
will have a civil war soon. Yeah, I would agree with like that. Dalio never talks about that. The UK is way closer to a civil war than America, if you really follow the news. They have a massive immigration. We have an immigration problem, but we shut the border. We're fixing it. They don't have a stop to it. The UK is fucked. So they're going to have way more problems than we will, I think, in some ways. So I'm not worried about it like Dalio is, dude. I'm not. It doesn't pay me to be worried like that. That's how I think. I'm too young. We're all too young. Tits get
Oh,
clicks. Shaw
lot
said
of
it
sellers
first.
at the end of that candle.
Yeah,
Leaving
what
a
an
nasty
opening
wick,
range there, right to the value area low, and then a bounce off that overnight VWAP. So you're seeing good levels now. You see our range here, 34 to 62.
I
30.
mean, ES is very close to that bottom.
Yeah.
And keeps kind of hovering in the middle, but still holding its overnight view up.
Yeah.
Is anyone in along or trying along here down at the bottom on either asset? Still no
No.
breaks the range. Like we said, it just set. You got a new 15-minute candle ahead of you.
I wish it would have broken the bottom there. I wish it would have broken out and then come back in.
Yeah, maybe in a minute.
Morning, guys. What's up?
Hello, Bruce.
Morning, Bruce.
Bruce, can you believe we sold out the boot camp, bro? It's all thanks to you, bro. They're coming to rub your bald head.
I actually did get one or two guys saying that's the only reason they're coming to rub my bald head.
I actually paid because listen, we don't make any money, but I knew we needed to do this. I had to pay to get a photo booth to come just so you could have like the bald photo booth, and you're just gonna sit there, and instead of a dunk tank, they're just gonna come take pictures and rub your head.
That's the contest, isn't it? You get to rub his head before trading. You get four rubs of the head
Yeah,
before
it's
live
like
trading.
you get big-
No more, no
you
less.
get big luck.
Okay, Brian Short in the chat. Our
Yeah,
Black
man.
Shirt Club, Brian.
Sellers are
Yeah.
stepping in.
Yeah, Nasdaq's down 0.7%. So
Silver down, Bitcoin down, gold down. They're still moving lower. Stocks are starting to turn red. Tesla's down 2.5 almost now. Google's down 1.5 now. There's your opening range break. So let's give it a few more minutes. Now I'd like to see this thing.
NQ still in its opening range. Hasn't
Yep.
broken to the downside yet.
Very close.
Patience. Michael already grabbed the indicator. He's already using it and loving it. He said, "That's great, Michael."
Let's go.
I mean, this
Yeah,
is right
so-
where we were playing around with pre-market. Every time we've held this overnight view up, I mean, you clearly see we try to get above, but where we just finished is right around this like 840 level here on ES. Could it still be making lower highs? Could be, but still
Could
like
be.
a bottom down here. Slow first break. Let's see if it really sustains lower before we start hopping into shorts.
Mhm.
Would be my read.
If you're wondering, everybody, with the indicator, we are running a promo for those of you that are going to grab it now. First of all, when you come to the website, you can see, click each one of these. You'll get a breakdown of all the different components that go into the indicator. We cover a
Yeah, I
lot
don't know
of
if that was clear. It
What?
says learn more, but maybe it should say click. I don't
right.
know.
Because then when you click these, you get different pictures. You get to see what it actually looks like. Same thing for down here. So it covers everything: automatic VWAPs, key levels, and session volume profiles on previous day and previous week. You get market positioning through the dashboard that we built, trend biases in the dashboard, and then, of course, the multi-ticker view, which is what everybody likes. Right now, you can sign up for the regular price, or you can save a shit ton of money if you sign up for the year. I'm not a big fan of this yearly thing, so I am going to end this on Friday. Like me and Michael, the guy that runs Flux Charts, you'll meet him if you come to the boot camp. Michael's big on this, running a discount for the year. I'm not. I just think you should pay for it monthly, and if you want to cancel, you cancel whenever you want. So we will have this discount running where you save it 25% basically, but that will end on Friday, and then you just will have monthly.
Now we're getting some colors. We're getting some mixed and red. I have to
Good, Evan, good.
Look over to YM these days. Just assume it's ugly, but tell me what its VWAPs are doing.
Why has no one asked me why I cut off my ponytail?
Midlife crisis. It was that or Corvette.
Austin lost a bet to me in on vacation.
I mean, it came out of nowhere. Randy
Can I
said,
say it?
"Oh, you
Can I-
actually did it." So you
Come
guys
on, let me
must
say
have
why.
talked
Let me say why. Because I saw so many trannies, fat trannies in Seattle with ponytails.
Yeah.
I was disgusted. Fat
I thought
dudes.
you knew that already.
No, bro. When I've been to Seattle before, we did not see it this bad. So, oh, there's a pump.
There you
So
go.
many big dudes with nose rings and long hair and a dress. I was like, I can't do this. And then Randy, the all gender bathroom at the aquarium. I literally was going to go pee in the corner. I told Randy to protest that stupid gender bathroom. How do you have an all gender bathroom? It's confusing. It's all weird. It's just so weird. So I was like, I'm going back to being a regular dude now, cutting the hair off, bro. Fuck it.
I gotta say with Austin, we have all gender bathrooms up here in Canada and BC, but you still have a men's, a women's, and all gender. Like there'll be one stall for all gender, whatever it is. At the aquarium, you only had one choice. It was an all gender bathroom. And what bothered me the most was
Was it
asking
shared?
a little girl walk in with their mom and say, "Mom, what do I do?" And I was telling Hillary after, like, Miles is a boy, but if we have a daughter one day, it's some grown man is going to be washing their hands beside my child. Like, I don't think I don't think it's right. That's all. That's my personal opinion. You know, whether I agree with it or not. I've never been in a situation where I was forced to have just the one option, and that really upset me, to be honest.
It should be like a one-person bathroom.
Correct.
Yeah, no, it was sharing all the sinks and then a whole bunch of stalls on each side. So it's like, you know, some creep could be in there with your kid. Like, it's
I'd rather shit my pants and walk around with that than go in there.
exactly right. So it was that really.
We're not making this political, but I tweeted this morning. Guns don't kill people. Trannies are killing people, and it needs to stop. This guy just shot his wife and kids at a hockey rink, bro.
Yeah.
And his name is Robert, and he goes by Roberta. Come on, bro. What are we fucking talking about, everybody? Like, it's ridiculous, isn't it? And if you like, I don't even understand how that's an argument. It's just crazy. It's so sad too. So good shorts there, everybody. I see the chat. Funded by billionaires. Yeah. I'd shit on the floor in the aquarium. Right. 15 points on that. Nice, Matt. Matt Dennis. Matt Dennis, you're a new name. Where are you from, bro?
Still the first break, but it's a nice one. Big.
Yeah. No news. I have financial juice open. Nothing came through there.
Matt Dennis sounds Canadian.
Wow, Ashley, my daughter plays at that rink. So scary. Fuck, dude.
Why?
Oh,
that's crazy. When I saw that in the news, I was like, I don't even want to hear the story. You know what I'm saying? Because I knew it was going to be a fucking tranny. Like, every time there's a shooting now, you just default to thinking it's a tranny. It's crazy. And it's like, are we all bigots now that we just want to avoid these people? Like, you know what I mean? It's sad because
we might have goats running our Wi-Fi in South Africa or something, but
we don't have that.
Stuff.
Fucking right, bro. Yep. Yeah, I mean, we don't make the chat. This is all trading. We don't make the chat too political here, but I think a lot of the people listening agree. So that's why you guys are here.
Oof. We're still going down here. Back at
Matt
Lowe's.
Dennis, Fisher Futures. Nice, Matt. Welcome, dude. Welcome. Get your kids out of public school. Yeah. Orders below now on Bookmap. If you have me up on screen, you can see 70, 67.90, 67.92,
yeah, those have been there since the overnight session.
Okay. And then what about 70, 75?
It was to maybe buy
even all the way down to I think it was 75. The 50s might have been there too.
Yep. Evan, what were you gonna say? Tried to buy it.
When our first idea was like, oh, maybe we could buy it 4 minutes in. It's just wait. Monday morning, it got a little bit of lift, and then now it's just selling back off. So it's like read and react to the new information. Now you look at the 15-minute. Don't want to say where you are, but like worst case is we bounce from here. We're fucking in the little mini range again, like we were last week. That ideally we do make a new low. We could find some trending shorts because it definitely looks like sellers are defending this lower high level.
Get this thing out. Yeah, good shorts. Chat, if you hit the shorts, let us know what price you got in, what price you got out. I'd love to see. Send a markup if you can. I'll pull that up.
Didn't really miss anything. It was like a strong take of New York on ES. You know, like pretty much all body. Something to look at. Like, well, didn't really even try to turn off of there.
Would it be
still? It's a tough short.
Not to say I was right or anything. I'm just saying, would it be worth it to go back to the RTH? You see it pin that previous day VWAP instead of being above it because you're not focused on the ETH, which is the bullshit hours. So you just look at the RTH. Look at that. Pins that. New York VWAP and POC are taken a little bit more clear here to be short there, potentially at least. You see what I'm saying? Just looking at the RTH coming off a bank holiday, coming into the start of the week. I think this might have been the better move if you were going to be able to try to catch it.
I mean, you should probably be out at the first break of open range low then, if we're honest.
Or trailing it. Yeah.
You'd be trailing into that candle. You wouldn't be.
But you see what I'm saying? Like, because of where that previous day VWAP is, you can see the short here a little bit better with the stop loss there. That's still 19 points. Look at that.
Yeah,
something to keep in mind of on these bank holidays. We should be looking at this next time too, just to kind of see if there's.
Well, that's what I was saying. I think the RTH, has more value today because there is no value in yesterday's trading or overnight trading. Even you could I don't even understand how yesterday's previous day New York matters. Yesterday's New York. Inna had a long here and then she was out. So she was in it actually pre-market and then she closed the long as it tried to fill the gap. Nice. Very nice, Inna.
I mean, just give me a pullback here. Hopefully this doesn't sink. We literally spoke about this last week on the stream. It moved like 100 points a clip and then just sat sideways.
Yeah, I know.
Where's the structure? It's been one directional moves.
Well, it's in a range, like you just said a minute ago. So it needs to get legs out of the range here, and then you'll get the structure again, right? Like it's been in this range since Thursday's afternoon, really. Thursday afternoon kind of set the trend for Friday. Now we're starting to break out lower. No news really coming in, though.
Need to look at this week. What do we really have?
Mike caught 31 to 20, 11 points in a minute. Nice, Rabbi Mike. Clyde, 40 to 28. Very nice.
Rough day.
Ina got out of her long at a great price. Jeff 68.10 up to 90. Good job. Shorted 31 out at 12 for Sean. 200 on 10 accounts. Attaboy, Sean.
Ooh.
So Sean, building on the confidence here, dude. Getting the copy
Love it.
trading going. Fuck yeah, bro. Michael,
Big
36 to 18. Good job.
I
68.
love Inez eggs. It reminds me of that trade that Evan and I had where we literally got out at the top and the next minute the market just sold right
Oh,
off. Like,
Yep.
oh, that's such a good feeling.
Yep.
Because it just
31
shows you
to
don't have
24.
greed,
Good
right? Like
job.
the greed wasn't there for you to just hold in for more and more and more. You just took your profits and then you watch what happens
Yes.
after you take your profits. And it just reminds you like being greedy is a killer in this game.
Bill Stafford, 34 to 20. Good job. So I like the shorts here, everybody. I like that you caught the momentum. Now, don't give that trade back, please. You just got your, like, it's not even 10 a.m. on what is really a Monday. Don't give it back. If you're going to take another trade, size down. Get your day green, get your week started green, add to this win, or just take it and leave. Don't go green to red to start the week. That is a telltale sign of then a tough week ahead. You did good to not fight the VWAP. Like, don't give it back.
Yeah. Or go trade another account.
Or trade another account.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Absolutely.
just made a YouTube about it. I think it's coming out today. That's like realistically, most people are trading the 50K accounts. You guys are all trying to make $3,000. That like, even if you slowed it down to like, I'm going to try to take one every month, give yourself 3 weeks, it's $1,000 a week. And many of you probably just made like 200, 300 there. It's like, it's pretty good on pace for $1,000 a week.
Yeah.
But like you're going to keep on trading, try to get to like 600 today. Yeah, it'd be great if you made 600 max profit today. But like, even if you didn't, you come back tomorrow and you make like 150, 300 on Thursday, like, and then 3 weeks of just doing small base hits like that, you'll probably be at payout. Like you have to zoom on out and see it 3 weeks from now rather than trying to like just zoom in today and try to just make everything evolve.
Yep.
It's really just $1,000 a week across 4
Can't
days
wait for
traded,
sure.
5 days. It's like not a lot of money per day.
It's very good. Good job on the shorts, everybody. I mean, at this point, you got to think 68. I mean, you're 4 points away. It doesn't even matter. It's there now.
Yeah. Is there anything to
Just
the
wonder
left?
what happens if we trade through 6,800.
Is there anything to the left, like on the?
We have to tell Randy to be careful not to get in too short or get in too low here, trying to chase this now. Right, Randy?
I'm tempted. You can tell.
I can tell because if you're
That's my language.
you put a lot of weight on whole numbers more than me. You like, you know what I mean? I think I hear you talk of like, if it breaks 6,800, it's going to go, you know, like,
Psychological levels.
yeah, it is psychological. I understand it. I just don't trade that way, you know?
For me, it's I think I had an expectation of 6,800 to be taken overnight and
Mhm.
not having that taken overnight. And then as we trade to it, I'm kind of like that thought from last night is like starting to fire again.
Got it.
And it's like I got to remind myself, well, then I should have been taking it off a previous day's value area low down to 6,800, not trying to get it from 6,805 to 6,800.
Right.
Right.
Well,
So
definitely, I would not be a buyer here. That's for sure, Randy. So if you are going to do anything, I would definitely be a seller.
It is also breaking those lows from last week's EPR on that. So
One thing we know is don't try to catch the falling knife. The knife is
Yeah.
falling. So
Yep.
Jordan said, do you guys have a limit where you stop trading? Scalping these moves are hard because you see so many opportunities. I have a time, Jordan. Like if I'm up by 11 a.m., I'm usually done trading for the day. So in the next hour. So I think it's time for me.
Yeah, time is good. Or another one is like a trade number. Just because if you're 0 for 2, 0 for 3, the fourth one is probably not going to be very good either. You're just not seeing it well today, or the markets aren't clear. So it's like you normally don't need more than 3 attempts. And that's on like the far side. Because even on the good side, even if you won 2 trades, I still think you probably don't even need the third. Like, yes, you're trying to maybe maximize on the day, but a lot of the time you're probably just getting mentally fatigued. The decision making is going down. It's more so probably out of greed. I think just 2 to 3 trades is safe for a red day and a green day. And then see how you do with that for a couple weeks.
yeah, I think the time
Michael,
one's a good one.
yes. On a 50K Ignite, 375? Sounds about right. So 15% consistency. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If I get one good win on my first trade, I'm done for the day. I feel that, Mike. Do you guys have some kind of guidelines on how to use the new indicator? Yeah, Brian, when you buy it, you get access to the video that explains how to use it. So
Would you
watch
put a
that for
stop
me.
loss if this retraces the VWAP, opening range high? Yeah, I mean, if it bounced right up to New York VWAP now, yeah, opening range high for sure.
See, the thing I'm thinking in my head, just to play devil's advocate to taking shorts on a retest, I just always am cautious of these single break of opening range and go. You know what I mean? Like I just am cautious of that. So
then what would you be looking for otherwise? You're saying longs?
to disqualify that, I would want it to come back into the range and then back out. I'm not going to just short it while it's still out here in its technical first break, because then if it comes back in and goes out the top, then it does the double break that I think it usually does. So if it
Okay.
comes back into range and then back out, that's the most confident short for me. That's some sauce right there. That was a little advanced. So that probably went in some people's ear and out the other, but that's super important to understand.
I just threw a handoff VWAP on, and for me on a 2-minute chart, it lines up at 68.18. So still 10 points above.
Yep. Yes, but Brian, once you get the indicator, if you have any questions, please ask us, like specifically, how do you use this? How do you use that? But when you buy it, you'll have a video that'll explain to you all the settings that you can play with. You can see there's a ton of key levels that you can set if you trade with those key levels. There's higher time frame VWAPs in here. Initial balance and opening range can be labeled, and then your value areas are underneath that, and it's fully customizable. This is kind of why it took so long. We made sure you can change the dotted line, the thickness of the line, POC versus value area. So it's all customizable. So you don't have to think, you just see it. You know what your dotted lines mean. You know what your labels mean. You know where you're positioned. And I think for me, like in a situation like this, it helps me not fight the VWAP. Like seeing that we have such strong sellers, seeing that all the indices are in a strong downtrend and that we're underneath that value area. I don't want to be a buyer here. All I want to be doing is selling. So in situations like this, it's not an entry tool, but it's helping me stay on the right side of the market rather than FOMO into a long just because it's an idea. But if you're a reversion trader, it can also then tell you when those reversions may be in play too. You know what I mean? When we're maybe trending in more of a ranging market, or we're trending in a more reversal type of environment, which I don't think we're in, at least right now today. So
What to do, boys? What to do?
It's not something you would look for longs, Randy, or not today, just because of that strong 50 minutes.
Yeah.
can I, since we're waiting for a pullback, let me just give a highlight. So we have a new Black Shirt Club member. His name is Brian. I'm not going to say his full name. He's more anonymous. But Brian is a perfect example of someone who comes into the Black Shirt Club and just hits the ground running, dude. Like I gave him a slight template for his daily report cards. He's already jumped in, filling it out. He's already documenting his trades pretty clearly with good text on here, right? Today, here was his short. You see his stop loss. You see his exit, target at 1R, rejected Friday's New York VWAP. So he's labeling things correctly. He's hitting it. He's posting it, and he leaves. So I just wanted to give him a shout out because I think sometimes people think the Black Shirt Club is this intimidating thing that's hard to get to know everybody and it's hard to feel your way around. No, literally within a day of signing up, he was in, the next day doing markups, the next day doing daily report cards at that level. So there's no ramp up period, everybody. You just come in, we hit the ground running. You start doing the markups, you start doing the report cards, and you start getting feedback from our team along the way. If you just take a look in the Discord, I know some of you have been thinking about joining. A lot of people have been loving Ines trading. So you can see she's getting feedback in her thread every day. And you could see other members here doing the same thing, right? Daniel, Jeff, other Daniel, right? So guys are in here every day giving each other feedback. So if you're trading alone, that's really where our mentorship community comes in handy, right? The stream is fun. It's great. We're making money together. But if you're trading alone and you're not finding that like constant improvement that I think some of you are striving for, that feeling of growth, that's where I will sell the Black Shirt Club very hard and say, our product is well worth the $500 a month. You come in, you'll see that for yourself. You go check the Trustpilot, you'll see it for yourself. But if you're maybe not ready for that, just stay here on stream. I know some of you are not ready for that. You're not ready to get ripped up in the feedback. You're not ready to get, told you're wrong by people who know more than you. And if that's you, don't pay us. Stay away from us, actually. We want people that are open to feedback, open to saying, hey, you're doing well here. You're doing some things here that I would do differently. Maybe try to find a middle ground and make some improvement. Those are the people that do the best with us, that get the most out of their money. Because then they come in and they're like, just tell me what you would do here. I'll take it in. I may not do it exactly what you're saying, Austin and Randy and James and Ev, but I'm going to take it and I'm going to try to make it work and see if it helps me. Those people, they get way more than the $500 out of it.
I think if you want to stay comfortable, don't join. If you want to come in and be put in those uncomfortable situations to get the growth, come check it out. That's the best way I can put it, because when you're at home by yourself trading alone, you're comfortable. You make the mistakes, you're comfortable, right? There's no one there to call you out on any of the stuff that the mistakes you're making. So
Fire hot seats last week had Ben in there. Ben was great. I think we have Max tomorrow. I'm looking forward to his. Max has a couple
day
of good
four
markets.
tomorrow too.
Day 4 tomorrow, first one for him. Time to grill up that Canadian bacon. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I keep every 2 days. I send him a text and I'm like, you're in the hot seat on Wednesday, right? You better
Yeah,
be
I
ready.
followed up with him too.
I think Brian also takes feedback
Oh, yeah,
very
Brian
well
takes
as
feedback
well,
very
which
well.
yeah, which is pretty. You answer his thread and he replies to you, which I think creates good Discord as well.
I mean, look, everybody's busy. Other people are I don't talk to Dallas. You
Yeah, of
talk to
course.
Dallas. You know what I mean? So like, of course,
That's not to throw shade on the people that don't reply. I'm just
no, of
saying.
course. Everybody's in a different spot. Yeah, so it's coming off your handoff here, Randy. I don't trade it, but I see what you're looking at right here.
Trev was asking in the chat, where would you put a stop if we were
It's a
short?
really tough question.
That's
Yeah,
what I was
they
just looking
playing
at,
it.
trying to figure that out too.
Probably
You
there.
playing strictly momentum? Any pullback from here and you don't like it, or would you allow it space to hold New York?
I mean, that's 20 points right there. It don't look like it, but that's a 20-point stop at New York VWAP.
Yeah, like that. Kind of like what I did a couple weeks ago, where it's like I'm playing momentum. If it doesn't continue momentum right back to these lows, it's not the idea anymore. Then just might want to
just-
pull back to New York, put me in there.
How quickly can we see this VWAP get taken? And then it's back here where I want to be short up here. You know what I mean? So like, I'm just so hesitant to trade off these provisional anchors like that.
Yeah, that's why I would say stop me out quickly if this
Right.
pulls back anymore. But you're very easy to lose and then see the shorts come in later. So you have to be comfortable with that. That you're playing a scalp with half size, maybe because you're probably gonna have to get in again. And if it wins, it wins. But if it loses, you still have ammo to play because this isn't just something that's very consistent.
So 68.10 was the low from Friday before we had that move up and then the
Okay.
sell off again. And that 68.10 level held up again in the overnight. So this could be an overshoot of it. We're back above it. This could go any. I'm not going to start thinking. I'm thinking too much. Too much thinking.
I think you either take it short and your stops at VWAP, like Evan said, at 31, and you get out at VWAP and you reassess, or you're just waiting for it to come back to VWAP. I think that's the only two.
I'm trying to be
places.
cute. You can tell, right?
Mhm.
Thinking, looking like trying to
The 10 and then the 10 and a quarter. Dude, the 10 and a quarter is going to get taken too.
build the long
like-
thesis from here.
They're all going to get touched. If you get on the
This
wrong
is
side of this
pre-market.
VWAP today and it sucks lower down into these orders on Bookmap, you're going to be like, why was I on the wrong side of it on a Monday or a Tuesday, whatever? Feels like
Yeah.
a Monday. No, so
It
it's
is
sell or
pre-market.
nothing, you know?
It is pre-market lows though, Randy. I see what you're seeing.
Yeah.
But obviously the
Or
trend's
what would,
down.
like, in a day like this, Randy, we talked about this, I think, actually already. Like, everything is outside and strong down. Is this the market you want to be reversal?
No. No.
No.
It's tougher.
If we had the caution, if we had inside the range mixed trend, now we're probably talking more
Yeah,
reversion.
like if I saw NQ having a breakout and it's back above its New York VWAP and now we got room for YM and ES to catch up, then I could look to build up. Great point. Great point pointing that out. Actually, I like that a lot.
Yeah, so there's where the
Having all
indicators
three in a
crazy.
strong downtrend, what is that telling me now? But if I saw some sort of mixed signals, then you could build that into the thesis. But clearly, right now, that is actually a great point, Austin. I'm serious. That's a game changer for me.
So just play this, mark this up, everybody. I mean, this is the turn off of the provisional anchor. Your stop would be at New York VWAP. This is the trade that's in play right now, in my opinion. And then the next trade that would be in play would be on the pullback to New York VWAP. You'd be out of this short, and you'd be looking to either get in short again here, or you're watching to see what buyers want to do. That's the only two plays. So if you don't like this short, like I don't, you're just flat. You might miss a win. Everything is trending lower. You may miss some money. Orders below are on Bookmap, but when you look at my wins out of the last 20 trades that I've won, none of them look like this off a provisional anchor floating this far from opening range low and New York VWAP. My gut just leans into always thinking it's going to come back into here to some extent. So I just have to be the one that's patient enough to wait for it.
Yeah, something to even be said is this candle that's still forming is a new 15-minute bar at 10 o'clock here is when we bounced. So it's been a bullish bar. So you're shorting like a bullish 15-minute candle. So yes, I could definitely flip back bearish in these last 4 minutes, but I'd almost rather see it maybe come a little bit higher than try to short it at like 10-15 and then know pretty quickly if that's going to be a bearish bar or not. And sellers are going to step in. But yeah, I mean, you probably have like a lower day go up break sitting on it right now, right?
Yeah, we're sitting on ES. You just blow it.
Yeah, so it's technically sellers in control, of course. Just a matter if they control it or a new low from here, does it have more pullback in it? but there's definitely no buyers today since the first 5 minutes. It probably looks like this. Quick scalp, or you're waiting for the full pullback, which you might not get. Might have to wait a little bit longer to get it.
I wonder if you think about it like this. Instead of trading the low of day VWAP break, which sometimes gets you that, like let's turn the low of day VWAP on the indicator here. Instead of trading that low of day VWAP break, the provisional anchor entry is actually going to be a higher entry. So technically, it's probably going to be a more profitable entry. You know what I mean? So if you are in the mindset of like, okay, things are trending today, I want this to move lower, I want to be short. That's where then again, Randy, maybe it's smarter to be trading with that provisional anchor, not the low of day VWAP, so you get a little bit better of a price. You know, you follow what I'm saying?
So I got short at 68.05. Yeah, I saw what you're saying. Sorry.
Yeah.
I was just marking it up on my screen.
Yeah, so that's like as it's coming down underneath it there.
But I have my stop above the handoff, above structure, below New York VWAP.
Put you on screen there. And then you have this, not to go against your trade, but
No, go ahead.
Iran's foreign minister, we've reached an understanding on main principles with the U.S. that pumped the market this morning, and then the market just gobbled that back down lower. That's interesting. I don't know why.
Google down 2%, Nvidia down 1.5%. Tesla's down 3.5%.
Yeah, everything's down but Apple. I was kind of looking at that a second ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't hate your stop loss. I don't hate the idea at all. Things are moving lower. You're on the right side of it. Now let's see if this is going to pay with another leg.
Well, if we get a strong break back up above this low a day and we take this handoff, we're going to be putting in a higher low. I wouldn't want to be up to this trade back up to New York. And so with Top Step, I'm actually trading them a little bit more aggressively now. This new account that Top Step gave me, I'm up 1,000 in the account today, so I'm willing to give that back technically, or look for a bigger win. I just want to be taking, like, I don't want to be building buffers in these accounts and taking payouts. I just want to.
Oh, you don't trust Top Step anymore? You don't say.
Exactly. I just want to get some money in the account and then just.
Imagine still trusting Top Step after all these changes.
It's pretty disgusting because I seen some people on X defending them, and I'm like,
that's
you're
crazy.
Defending them? Why?
That's crazy.
Like,
that's crazy.
Are you some sort of like you're getting secret affiliate pay? Like, I don't understand. Are you is that rage bait? Like, why you're defending them? Like, I don't.
Or they're just literally, bro. People are cucks.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they would rather just stroke Patak and Top Step with no real benefit to themselves other than call it for what it is, which is a bunch of bullshit.
Can I ask a question though on it? Like, does it affect you, Randy, or only the live accounts?
No, it affected Randy.
They took one of my accounts away, accused me of hedging. I have the screenshots. There was no trades in that account.
Yeah,
that account had
a
payout
eligible, and they took the money.
That account
and
that account was one of the original.
This is exactly what my Forex funds did, except they're still in business. They took an account that was eligible for a payout.
But they're still in business. Yeah, that's wild. But because they accused you of hedging, basically.
Everybody.
I have the screenshots from that account, James, and there wasn't even a trade on because they put an exact time down to the seconds in the email of a date and time of the trade. And I have that account. And I have screenshots I can show you guys. There was no trade even on at that time in that account. And the only reason I knew that is I still had that XFA. They accused me from back in November, and they probably thought, like most people probably lost their XFAs that got accused of hedging. And so it was
get the data.
Yeah, I sent them the email with all of it, and I haven't heard back yet. That account's still sitting paused, but I'm just like, and it's one of the other thing that stood out to me. I was saying also when we were away, it's one of the original XFAs. Like they've already changed the rules twice on the XFAs, and this is like back when the rules. So like it's almost like they're clearing out anybody that had an original.
What's different about it?
Rules.
What was different?
5 days of 150. You could take the so now they have that profit target where if you take a payout, you have to be above that profit target of where you took the last payout.
This is Randy. Yeah. This is Randy to his Top Step accounts.
It gets me fired up just thinking about it.
No pun intended.
I'm not loving how we're slowing down here. Sitting on that lower day VWAP.
What was the joke, Evan? I don't get the joke.
That's gone.
Oh,
This
what was
pun.
the pun? He
Also,
literally-
my Forex funds is coming back. I'm getting that payout.
Evan goes, no pun intended, and then just runs off stage.
Yeah, it's walked off. Like,
Did he say pun or did he say Punjab?
I don't
What
know.
was it?
Oh yeah, everybody's
Come up.
listen.
I'll fuck him up.
Indians in the chat, you'd be proud of me. Me and Randy had a whole heart to heart. He explained to me the whole thing about the Sikhs and the Hindus, and I am now culturally educated and I understand. What was the name? Oh, what was the terrorist group we were talking about? The Baba Kanish. What was
Babar
their name?
Khalsa.
Oh, dude, those guys with the turbans. Everybody, if you've never seen a guy with an AK with a turban, check that shit out, bro.
They'll
Yeah,
fuck
I'm
you
about to
up,
get a
man.
Baba Khalsa poster just because it looks so fucking lit, bro. Riding horses with a turban and a machine gun.
They fuck you up. I'll tell you that right now.
Fuck yeah, bro.
Yeah, like I don't love this.
It's hitting your provisional anchor.
Yes, sir.
yeah. There's the. I was just watching this as pre-market lows as well, Randy. So I think it's also good to mark it up because you were interested in the longs a little bit too.
I just couldn't
We're well below
justify.
pre-market lows.
No, it's not a. It's. I don't think take the longs, but yeah, it is.
No, I know what you mean. Like this is like one of those. Like this is gonna be
Yeah.
watch for me. This is gonna be one of those reversion plays that worked, and I was on the wrong side, the other side of the trade. So
I don't hit the direction. I think it's just maybe a matter of, is it too low? I mean, New York VWAP is close to getting outside the opening range low, unless it already did it on ES. On ES, it already did. So it's a tough day to be a buyer.
Sitting on this provisional here, Randy. I think we're gonna see.
yeah, it's gonna pop up through it. It's gonna take me out.
Okay, handoff. It's too early. It's like an afternoon play.
Right.
Yeah, I agree. That's why I didn't really buy sell off the handoff, but in hindsight, it would have been room to make some money there. That's why I waited for that lower day. I wanted to see price react to the lower day and play around under it for a sec. That's when I got in short.
Trev, I'm going to challenge you. Where do you think you should put a stop loss if it retests his New York VWAP? And then I'll answer.
Like to get short again?
Yeah, he's asking if you got short around New York VWAP like in a couple of minutes, I guess. Where would you put a stop? So I'll
I'm
get you
out.
to think a little bit. Where do you think you would put it, Trev? Or where do you want to put it?
Okay, good
Wanna
take,
put it at
Randy.
49.
Good take the loss. You got to eat it.
That is what it is.
Okay, I'm watching this retest now.
Yeah. Again, right at 10:15, another 15-minute increments, all buyers since 10:15.
I'm not just selling it here on
49.
VWAP, Evan. We need a turn.
I mean, 49, what is
wouldn't
that,
sell
Trev? POC? You know, a lower high could be formed anywhere between that and lower day. I mean, that's a 33-point stop, though. You're risking the
looking at-
entire opening range. It's a little excessive.
I'm looking at 50. I have it
Yeah,
in,
I
in
think
my
15
idea here.
back here above New York and POC. If it gets that high above VWAPs and inside the open range again, you probably don't love the shorts.
Yeah, I don't know. That's why I'm not jumping. Just give it a minute here.
I mean, we're
Randy, you decompress.
I am. I'm sitting down. I'm sitting down.
I mean, look at
I'd
this.
be hesitant on shorting it here, guys.
Look
Personally,
at the 15-minute again, right back up. Swept the lows, right back to the overnight view up. Ran around with all this bullshit. Gross.
you know that CBD was minus 2,000 at the bottom at lower day, and now it's almost plus 4K. So definitely some buyers stepping back in.
Yeah, Apple's up 2% now.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just cautious of the one-sided opening range break that runs all day. No, this again, I just want this to come back into the opening range. This is going to make me short it
Oh,
here
did it
before
not?
it came back into the range. No, it did not.
NQ's in it right now. It's right on it.
I know. I see on the indicator NQ's in it, but ES is not. Yeah, Randy, this is the best chat can give me about what I was looking for from you. I was trying to put you on a horse with a machine gun and a turban, but this is the best it'll do.
It's fucking huge.
It's huge. Yeah, but if you look up these guys, how do you say
That's
it,
a
Randy?
terrible tie. No,
did
but
not
that's
look
like
What is these guys' name? Dude, you have to see this, Evan.
I don't think they could animate
Yep.
guns on
Look at these guys'
ChatGPT.
turban, bro. They're huge. Right,
Oh, that
Randy?
wasn't an exaggeration.
What was the guys that you
no,
told
that's
me-
it. That's the Niangs. That's not Babar Khalsa. They're not a terrorist organization. They're like an
Who-
arm of.
Who were
you
they
have to,
though?
like
How do I spell that? Those
Wait,
guys.
all these
N
people in
E-
Seattle?
NEHANG.
Dude, look at these guys. Randy was showing me they had like one dude had a huge chain and a sword. Yeah, like that.
Right?
Bang. That's what Randy needs, dude. Look at that thing. Put that thing on me, bro. Holy shit. His neck must be strong as hell, bro.
There you go. Manny said it in the chat. He's got it.
Dude, see, I need one of those, bro. That thing is swag the fuck out.
You got the beard for it. You have the
I know.
capabilities.
All right, we're back under now.
On a side note, Manny said he longed MNQ.
Nice.
Did you long
Yeah.
it off the bottom, bro? Nice snag.
Yeah, stop loss placement's kind of a pain.
Okay, I'm in now.
Oh well. That's why I am. Yep.
Yeah, it's 2 minutes under
Oh,
the
there's-
video. I'm not in overly heavy here. You don't need to be heavy today. You still make some money.
What is that? 22 points?
Yeah.
Or 32.
30 points.
Oof.
So I only got 5 on it. See if it'll hold the VWAP here. So I get just a little bit higher of a price than you, Randy. See if I can make some money out of this. I don't need a new low, everybody. I'm just going to trade down into like these lows here at 90. That's where the orders are on Bookmap. So the idea is you wait the first 15 minutes, see who takes control. Sellers held previous day New York VWAP, then sellers break us out of opening range low. We know it's not going to just run all day. So you take this move as information. You wait for the pullback. We get a pullback about 50% of that leg right to the New York VWAP. And that's why I'm short now off that VWAP. So it's 10:22 in the morning. This should be in profit by 10:30. This should be back down somewhere near these lows in the next 8 minutes. That's the idea. You're just playing this VWAP bounce. And with the indicator telling us that everything is in a strong downtrend, I would feel stupid if I miss something here in another leg down. So that's why you got to take it. You don't have to take it super heavy with the stop being big today because there's volatility in the market, but you got to take it. For me, I got to take it. Evan, are you going to get
Thank
in
you.
or no?
My shit's stupid. I'm shutting down my trading view.
What happened?
Just not letting me even change the calculator of it. And it wasn't removing my markups either. Fire it back up real quick.
Hacked by China.
But
I know, Randy, if you could find that picture that you showed me of the turban guys, that was a way more swag picture. We could put Jay, dude. Yes, Randy, find the picture of the turban dudes on the horses with the machine guns. There was 3 of them, and then put us on that picture. Send it to Jay and have him make us one. That'd be sick. We'll change up one of the thumbnails. Instead of it being Wolf of Wall Street, it'll be Wolf of Punjab, and we'll fucking come out of the fucking hills with the horses and the guns.
oh man, you crazy, man. You crazy.
All the white people in the chat are going to be like, "What the fuck is going on?"
Oh, I think my boomer asked.
Indicator active. It is. Indicator's active. Also, can send the link in the chat again, or you can find it probably
My
down below.
boomer asked put the link, but it's not the link, so don't mind me
Yo,
sharing.
what's the link for the indicator? VWAP.
I don't know. I just copy and pasted the website, I swear.
Well, everybody, Flux Charts will be one of the sponsors of the boot camp. So there will be an opportunity there to get to meet some of the guys. I think they're going to be sending one of their staff members, hopefully. You'll also get to meet some of the guys from Prop Firm Match. They'll be at the boot camp. Some Top One Futures staff will be there as well. So it's not going to be just traders. There's actually going to be some companies there that are representing as well.
Sitting
Feel
on
like-
that lower day VWAP now again.
Yeah, I mean, sellers are still in control. So I'm
Yeah.
here.
Yeah, I mean, you're at the low of debut up here on NQ. So you missed like 50 points off the New York bounce in just 2 minutes. It's like half the trade.
I'm just watching Bookmap. It just took the orders at 68.09.
Yeah, here it comes.
No, it's good. Looks like a low debut up break after a bounce play. Very good. Whether you're on ES or NQ, they're both cracking lower here after a lower high, fully to the New York view up. That'll be the lesson of the day. If you took a handoff or you just took a lower short, just have faith that that bigger pullback can come in, and then you scalp the nut back down towards the lows.
Mm-hmm.
So whether it makes a new low day here or not, you could make some money out of it.
Evan was yelling at me this morning because I said to him that $300 for a dinner, if you go out with your like girl or whatever, is not that expensive of a dinner. And he's like, we're not all as rich as you. I'm like, dude, do you drink? Do you have dessert? Like it's $300. Am I wrong, chat? Randy, at a nice restaurant, you and your girl go out, 2-3 drinks,
Easy.
appetizer, meal, dessert, not sharing dessert like a fucking peasant, like a pedestrian. It's $300. You tip the guy $50 at least. It's $300.
Yeah, but Ev's probably going. They're probably sharing something off the happy.
they're
Ev gets
sharing.
there,
Stop
Ev gets there
sharing with
5
your
minutes
girl.
before happy hour. Calls
Stop
up
sharing
over,
with your
says, "I
girl.
got to get some orders in."
Right.
I need 2 appetizers. Tells his girls these are the entrees. Hurry up,
Look at
get a
the early-
drink. You got 5 minutes. Happy hour.
Look at the early bird special.
I
Yeah.
took 4 off of the 5 right there. I was almost 15 points. I got in at 17. I'm out at 05.
Yeah.
So I'll trail this one. I'll close it at break even if it turns.
Yeah, but what we were saying was $300 for the 2 of you, not $300 for one person, which
Yeah.
is what you were saying. So I was like, yeah,
Yes.
they might
Yeah.
find that steep for one person paying $300.
Yeah. So what I'm saying for the VIP dinner after the event on Friday, we're going to charge $300 a ticket, but like it's open bar, it's all you can eat, it's at the steakhouse, and you're with all of us. So I feel like it's not that expensive, like to be near us and hang out with us for 2 hours. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
All you can drink. Come on now, like a cocktail's $20 nowadays.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
What was those?
We know
Brazilian
Evan can
drinks,
suck
the
back 15
caipirinhas,
cocktails
bro?
without even eating his food.
Randy's drinking 4 caipirinhas before the apps even come out.
I can't wait to drink with Randy.
Randy's like, I'm going to take you to Wawa and show you the best hoagie you've ever had.
Mm.
Oh, I keep telling Hillary about it. Riley was like, Wawa doesn't have the. I'm like, oh, you'll see.
Have you had the cream cheese filled pretzels?
I don't think they have those anymore, bro.
Yes, they do.
No, I haven't seen those in a while out here.
Get cultured.
Randy's like a cream cheese filled pretzel. What the hell?
Yeah.
Wawa.
Randy, for your on your short, so what was your reason for not taking the second entry out with Austin? If you like the short still,
Just a pussy.
He's in decompress mode. He gave in, got in a little too aggressively, too early,
Yeah, I
and then he
felt-
missed the easy win. So he's in decompress mode, but it's okay.
But basically, yeah, I'm flat in that account now. So I was like, I'll just chalk it
Sure.
up today. Now I had a win in another account last night. So I
Do you
want to
like-
make sure that I'm not getting too focused on trying to rinse Top Step and make poor decisions, if that
Yeah.
makes sense. Like
There'll be a
that's
somewhat
like-
process behind it.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't want it to be like, fuck Top Step. I'm going to fucking, do this. And then, just fucking YOLO a trade. Like that's
Mhm.
one of my fears of like being like aggressive like this with that reasoning behind it. So I got to still trust my process. And
I'm about to get full out of this thing at the 15-minute candle here.
yeah, Wimes new long day.
Done. 17 points. So everybody, I told you, I got into this trade with the mindset that I was going to get out of it at 10:30. I'm not looking for a new low. I'm looking for just a VWAP bounce. Indicator at the bottom of the screen, our VWAP trading concepts indicator is telling us we're in a strong downtrend. I don't chase the move. I don't get in down here. I wait for the turn off the New York VWAP and I get a pain-free move inside of a 15-minute bar. That's the textbook VWAP bounce. You do nothing all morning except hang out, have some fun, talk shit with us, and then you find a pain-free win like this and you're done by 10:30. I could take a daily payout now from this. It's that simple. The indicator helps, but it's still fundamentally rooted in VWAP, as you guys can see. So,
yes, sir. Perfect example too. Love it.
yep.
Yeah, now you got $300 to pay for the dinner.
Ah, good one, Bruce. All right, nuts in the chat. Let's go. Drew's first. Nuts in the chat. Nuts in the chat. Nuts on the dashboard. And again, it's that textbook nut where you have the pullback, the low, and this is where my money is made. Right in there. Textbook nut. Evan, are you mad you didn't take it?
Nah, I mean, yeah, it's clean on NQ. Fucking lagging. I mean, it's still not working perfectly, but maybe it's just an update I don't know about. I'll find another short. I mean, it's like 70 points in the profit on NQ. I would have risked like 130. So like half an hour move. I didn't leave too much out there by not being in it. But I think it probably keeps going.
I think it keeps going. Yeah, someone in the chat said, why done by 10:30? I usually make most of my money within a 15-minute bar. You know what I mean? This could be the third push towards this low, maybe making a little bit of a higher low. I think it probably goes lower. I don't know. But when I get a pain-free win like this, I waited all morning for it. it's fucking easy, dude. Like I'm not going to just let that turn at all. Like it was just a slow grind back down towards where my target was. I'm happy with that. 17 points. It's a good move for me.
Look at it here on NQ. New low a day.
Yeah.
Sellers defend New York and overnight view up on top of each other. Stop all set value area low. Trade it back down to today's low of day.
Mhm.
Clean. Just a lower high here. Rather than saying this is going to be our lower high, and we move for a new low, we'll wait for the full retest to 2 key VWAPs, not just one today. So sellers definitely in control. First break of open range. That's the price that many of you maybe chased. You can get that same price 30 minutes later and take on no drawdown.
No drawdown.
So
Now,
hopefully,
are we going to go take the IB low?
ideally, yeah, I don't want to just be ping ponging back up between VWAPs and low of day. So hopefully we do make a new low and we could find shorts later on.
Ev, you're gonna have to change your graphic for stream here. Top One just put out a new promo. 45% off Ignites and straight to Sim Pros, 35% off instant funded and the elite challenges. So
All right, all right.
60% off first account,
Yep.
but 45% off the Ignites.
All right.
Did our boy and Hell just get a payout today? Am I reading this right? How do I
think
request
so.
a payout?
I think so.
Guys, I
Let's
just reached
fucking
$2,000
go.
target on a 50K instant funded. I think so.
Let's
Beautiful.
go,
Great
my
job.
man.
Good job, guys.
Where do I request? Are you saying where do you request the payout? The dashboard. Denny, would you hit? Denny hit the short. Nice.
Congrats, brother. That's huge, man. Big W.
Trev hit the short too. Nice markup. Good stop. Good exit. Well done, chat. Alex Rodriguez, beautiful short, right off the same thing. Everyone's seeing the same exact thing, marking them up the same as well. Good price, good exits. Keeping it simple and clean. Good job.
Oh, good old Rabbi Mike. And Hell, give me your credentials. I'll do it for you. Of course he will. Gotta
Yeah.
watch out for that guy.
I'm like, it's a seamless process. I'll do it. For a 10% fee. Maybe 90. Maybe 90%.
There we go. IB low broken.
Yep.
Yeah.
Ian short as well. Yep. Everyone took the same trade. Good job. Everyone's seeing it the same now. If this drops another 50 points, does not matter. You made your nut. You move on with your day. Maybe you take another trade later on, or you come back tomorrow. Just keep on stacking winning days. If you guys are shooting for the made up number, but 1,000 a week, and you made 300 on one day, you're well on your way to taking a payout in just 3 weeks, 4 weeks. If you could slow things down each and every day, not let greed get you or FOMO. Out for 130 on 10 top one accounts. Nice. That'll do. On Hill shaking. Yeah, that's huge, dude. Congrats.
Yeah. Massive.
Now, are you coming back into the Black Shirt Club or what's up?
Well, I think those are the rules, right?
Mm-hmm.
The unwritten rules.
Randy
of the
gets
Black Shirt Club.
25% of it. Austin gets 25% of it. And so would me and James. So you actually get zero. So that's actually
You're
my
actually out
payout.
money.
I appreciate it.
You're gonna need another payout now. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think the biggest thing today, since it is the day we drop the indicator, is just notice everybody. The trend here is strong down. Not the day to be fighting the VWAP. Easy money, right? Some people like Manny made money on the longs there. I'm sure some of you can do that, but I'm just saying easy, right? I want easy. So easy
That's a
money,
good way to put it. Easy money.
easy money. Yeah, I mean, look at this, man. It is pain-free on this trade still. It's about as good as you can get. Yeah, a lot of Black Shirt Club members already short, already done.
Right out of Futures 2.0 too.
Yep. Connor, good job, 1,200.
Let's go.
Andre said, is there an affiliate program for the indicator? No, there isn't, but I can reach out to Flux Charts and see if they do that. Or, Andre, if you sell a bunch of them and then you can prove that to me, I'll buy you dinner.
That trading view's got to be broken. I can't even add texts. Something stupid.
It's because you put something in the code, dude. You were fucked.
Yeah, true.
It's because you fucked with the code. You
Trying to
literally
be
texted me
cute.
this morning.
It's a
I'm a
script.
master
I'm an
coder.
editor.
No, dude,
I'm a-
you're not.
I'm a
You're not a
coder.
master coder. You're a freaking idiot. Put the
I was
code
having
back.
Mountain Dew and Doritos. I was coding all night.
Put the code back, bro.
You think that's the issue?
Yeah, you shouldn't fuck with that. You don't know what you're doing. Stop acting like
Don't.
you know what you're doing.
ChatGPT did it.
No, chat sucks at making code, dude. Anyone that knows code knows chat sucks at it.
Well, it worked. it's at least showing properly. Stop yelling at me.
Everyone go save Evan. Someone that knows how to code. Go help this kid.
What do we got here? KT took a markup of a short and short, or what is this? No, these are longs. I was in control under VWAP. I think I'm looking at it correctly. Took a risk on this, scalped it for a small tip. So I mean, I don't love this short. I mean, it looks like it's within 30 seconds. But momentum playback here, it looks like, and then a small scalp there. Interesting plays. I would mark up the shorts that everyone else took on stream here back closer to VWAP. It also looks like you got a lot of noise going on up here. Lots of lines. I think you maybe slim that down. All these waves you got, clean it up, make it quieter. Simple as this, break, retest the view up. Let's move lower. But this is the nut. You get from view up to low of day.
Dude,
Keeps
I'm
them breaking
sorry.
lower, great. But you don't want to be chasing breakouts. Now you trade to them.
Is this not outrageous, bro? Look at this. I thought this was not a real story. Apparently, Ken Griffin, who runs Citadel, is building a $1 billion compound on the beach in Palm Beach.
Ooh.
It says it's being called the $1 billion estate. He spent years assembling the 27 acres from Ocean to Intercoastal on South Ocean Boulevard, known as Billionaires Row. Project near Mar-a-Lago involves tearing down homes to build a massive compound, expected to be the most expensive home in the world.
All right.
As markets are at all-time highs.
Look at this guy, bro. He's got 4 floors of 2020 Central Park. That's 240 million. 3 Carlton Gardens. It's a mansion in Buckingham Palace. Come on, dude.
What's his net worth?
I'm gonna guess a couple $100 billion.
That's just dummy money.
This isn't gonna be accurate. Okay, 50
49.
billion. Yeah,
That's it? Okay. That's nuts.
yeah. Hey, he uses VWAP, so for whatever that's worth, he does. It's in Brian's book. I'm not making it up.
Chip away. That's a lot of base hits. He's a Hall of Famer. It's like Derek Jeter. Lots of base
Literally.
hits.
Yeah.
There's like jokes on my Twitter feed of this tranny shooter because like they got so many pictures of him like acting like a girl, and like they're making memes of it of like me when I've had a few too many beers with the boys, and it's like a jack dude wearing a dress. You don't get fucked up in South Africa and dress like a girl, James?
No, we didn't.
No, that's never happened with the boys.
No.
I think we're gonna get a dumper of a snowstorm coming this weekend too.
Mm.
I'm gonna try. If I skip stream on Monday, it's because I'm going skiing.
Is it
What, in the backyard?
No, I live 10 minutes from a mountain.
Is there ski slopes there?
Yeah.
Or is it?
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm being serious. 10 minutes from a mountain.
I also live 10 minutes from a mountain, but there's no ski slopes there.
Yeah, this is Randy when he's out on a nice hike having too many brews.
Fuck off.
Just whip the dress out, dude. Look at that thing, bro. What is that? Are you kidding me, bro? Why are we allowing this? Fuck out of here, bro. I'm just done with it, bro. Like, that is not allowed. You
Yeah,
cannot be a big man wearing a dress like that and acting like a girl. Someone needs to slap that person, put him in a mental home. Oh my God. Oh, wait. One more. I'm sorry. Look at this one. Even better, dude. Bang. How manly is that, bro? That is crazy. And this guy would beat you up for calling him him. He'd shoot you, actually. Even if you were his wife and kids, he'd shoot you.
Yeah, that's
Sorry.
nuts.
Is it too soon for jokes? Probably, but fuck, dude, it's crazy. It's fucking crazy. This is worth looking at too. Well, 2 things. SoftBank dissolves share stake in NVIDIA. That's interesting. Fear and greed index is now at a 33. Crypto fear and greed index is now at a 10. So there's extreme fear in the crypto market and already fear in the stock market. A week ago, we were neutral at 50, but now we're at 33. So more fear in the market today than last week.
It's pretty crazy because we're still above the 200-day moving average on most of the like stocks and at least the Nasdaq that I'm watching here.
Chat's crazy.
Normally that's when
Bill said I'd hit. Relax.
Ah, no.
I'll have to wear a dress at the seminar, guys. That's it.
Could you imagine, dude? Randy comes out as the tranny that introduces everybody at the seminar, and that's the intro. People would fucking leave, bro. They'd leave. They'd be like, "This is not Austin's event."
People would be throwing dollar bills on the stage, man. That's
You're
all
fucking right, bro. For you, you're right. You be a good looking one, dude. They like you. Luke said, "Can we talk about long term blue chip investments?" Right now, bro, just the general market. Like in my retirement account, I've got the Qs, I've got VOO. That's all I've got. I don't have any individual names right now. I'm out of all individual names. Just because we've talked about this rotational market that we're in, where the Mag 7 is no longer the trade. So if you want to be in individual names, you're going to have to do a little bit of research, right? SanDisk, we talked about that in the Black Shirt Club yesterday. So there's other plays. SanDisk is up 1,500% this last 18 months. Like there's other plays, but you should be aware, as some of you probably are learning, like I am, markets change. The environment changes. So as that environment changes, money moves out of certain names. And I think money has moved in some ways out of NVIDIA and Apple and Google and Microsoft, and it's looking for other plays.
Well, I sent a write up to Inna about Micron because she just sold her Micron. She had some calls on Micron, but this one analyst was calling for another 168% upside to Micron.
I'm sure.
Jim Cramer.
Analysts just don't get paid if they're right or wrong. They just get paid regardless.
That's like ESPN. Spew a bunch of garbage.
Yeah.
Like they'll say like Jalen Hurts is top 5, so I just turn off the TV. Frank says, would you re-enter a trade when price comes back to New York if you up? Yeah, I mean, that would definitely be the best play if you can get it as close to New York as possible today. I mean, you got definitely sellers maintaining control. I mean, it's kind of slowing back at these lows, which is why you want to get as high as and close to view up as possible. New speaker at the event, Connor? Yep. Lots of speakers.
Mr. Steve Collegian. Yeah, so if you know Steve is he's known as the man with 1,000 screens. Like he's super famous because he's got like this setup that if you just search him on Instagram, like look, he's always known for having millions and millions of screens.
Okay.
This is his office. Patrick Whelan went and did a video with him. He's done videos with, look, here he is with Cardone. He's very well known as a stock trader. He worked on Wall Street. He worked all over the place. He lives in Connecticut and in Florida. This is his office. He's just going to come do a podcast with me. Yeah, look, here's him and Patrick 7 years ago. So we're going to do a little one-on-one sit down.
Are we allowed to ask him like tech questions about how do we set up 1,000 screens?
Yeah.
What's the best HDMI cable to use?
Yeah. I would assume he's going to tell you he has no idea and he pays someone to come in and do it. Because I wouldn't do that.
Do people get access to the tutorial video before they get the indicator, Austin, or no?
No, do they want it?
No, William, just asking, can you briefly explain the new indicator? So
Yeah. So William, you're getting a couple of components, right? And I think it's best explained, not even just through the settings here. It's best explained on the website. So if you go to asfx.biz/indicator, you'll see first is automatic VWAPs. So you're getting the key VWAPs that you need: start of week, start of last week, start of month, the higher time frame, but also New York session, previous day, overnight, high of day, low of day. So you get all the VWAPs automated. The key levels are there. That's going to be Asian session high, London session high, all-time high, today's high, yesterday's high, all those levels. And then you get the session volume profiles, which are going to be the weekly and the previous day. So all of it is there for you. But as I say in the tutorial video, you do not need to use all of it. For example, you may want to come in here on the dashboard. You may not want to have high of day and low of day. You can actually take that away here in the indicator settings, and it will shrink the matrix here so you don't have to see that. Watch. It'll take a second.
yeah, what I've done is since today's like bearish, I turn off the high of day one and I keep the low of day one on.
Exactly. It takes a second because mine's slow, but it's coming. Hold on. You can see it loading up there. There you go. So then it shrinks that down. Maybe you're a guy that wants weekly levels. Maybe you want high of day and low of day VWAPs on. You just toggle it on and off. The colors are all set to black. That way you guys can customize the colors to be whatever you want. I wasn't going to give you the rainbow. Shocker. Austin, the lover of all rainbows, is going to not give you the rainbow. You figure out whatever color you'd like, right? For some of us, like I don't really use the key levels except an all-time high. So I just toggle that on and off. So it covers everything for you. And then again, it's super customizable. What's cool about this is you can actually take the indicator, move its positioning here into different places, shrink it. I would make it small or tiny, and then make it vertical. And then it's going to actually work on your phone. And I talk about that briefly in the tutorial as well. So if you shrink the indicator's font to small or tiny, and then instead of having it like I have on screen horizontal, you shift it to vertical, which is going to change in a second, it'll look better on your trading view on your phone. And that'll be how you can use it on mobile. See, now it's smaller and it's vertical, it's stacked. So that way you can have it on your phone. And you don't have to have the text on with the website, everybody. You can just turn that off at the bottom where it says get access. Just uncheck that. That's just for us, for marketing. I hope that answers the question.
Could be pulling back to New York VWAP up again, at least on NQ. And ES is sitting down here.
Mhm.
But, I mean, you got a nice flush from VWAP for a new low. Your job is to make money in that. If it goes lower, it goes lower, but it's not your job to try to be in that.
So Justin's
Yeah,
got a
you're way
question
there.
about trend. Good question, Justin. And this is explained in the video as well. I'll pull it up and show you. So we have a PowerPoint that I walk everybody through in the video, but you'll see we have bullish and bearish trend readings. So trend will either be mixed, trend is up, or trend is strong up. And then the inverse on the downside here, mixed, down, or strong down. So it's 3 settings. It's basically, is it in between overnight VWAP and previous day VWAP? So it's not above or below both, it's in between them. That's mixed. If it's above both of those, but not above the New York VWAP, it'll be strong up. But when it's above all 3, overnight New York and previous day New York, then you're in strong trend. And then same thing for below. So it's this trend part of the indicator is just reading VWAP. The opening range part of the indicator is reading your opening range levels to know if you're above or below that. So like on a day like this, it says it's outside and the arrow is pointing down. That means we've broken the range, we're outside, and we've only broken it to the downside. Also, combine that with it saying strong down, that tells us sellers have been and are still in heavy control. You'll see the opening range has a couple of different readings here. It'll say inside and be red. If we go back in the range, as we're not too far from now, but if we go back in the range and have only broken it to the one side, it will say inside because we're inside at that moment. And then it'll be red or green, depending on what side we broke. And if we haven't broken it yet, it'll give you a little caution symbol. So you're getting multiple readings of trend with the dashboard here at the bottom. From the opening range, you're getting price information. And then from the trend, you're getting VWAP information. So I think it's important to distinguish that when we talk about this. You're not just getting the same information regurgitated over and over. You are getting opening range readings based on horizontal price levels. You're getting trend reading based on VWAP and where we are in relation to the volume weighted average price. So that's why it's so powerful. Is anyone taking this move lower?
No, I'm not.
Nah, not on the ES at least. It's a little bit further, but try not to forecast buyers just randomly stepping in. It is just slow down here at these lows. It's not just going into price discovery. Keeps coming back up.
You got a low a day here now kind of in your way. Is anyone short in the chat? Wouldn't be mad. I mean, are buyers in here today?
No.
No. So shorts are nothing for now. Don't be long until we break VWAP. Miles are short at 12. That's good. Do you trust the second retest of New York VWAP enough to trade it? Yeah. I think what do you consider the second? So is this the first and this is the second? Then yeah.
Nah, he's probably saying this is the second one, maybe, I guess.
But it didn't touch it yet.
Yeah. But I have to assume that's what he's asking, but maybe not.
William said, does the indicator work on its own or must I have other indicator? No, it's all on its own. That's why we did this. Like this is it. You need one
Yep.
indicator. You won't even have to add anything else to your chart.
That's all I have. I don't have the free one on with this. It's just this one.
No, turn the free one off. You don't even need it. Get rid of it.
Yeah.
We definitely would not charge you for something that then you need to go buy other indicators or something. You know what I mean? Like it's all in one.
Get part 1 of our 3-part indicator.
Right.
Short,
Salmon is long
long,
at
69,
57.97.
long, 69.97. So from the lows.
Jeez.
All right. Yeah, see if we can get above New York like we did last time and then reject underneath it. Sellers defend it.
NQ looks like it's going to take its New York now.
Yeah, it has.
Well, it's on it. See if it rejects it.
It's funny seeing the New York VWAP like go straight up from the open and then straight down like that, just like sharp V. Dun, 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 dun.
I'm gonna try one short, one micro. Play this price level, see if it could hold or if buyers somehow step in later on. Where do I want this stop? I think that's even a little generous up here.
I
But
like that. I like the entry idea.
yeah, I mean, see if it's gonna hold this New York. If not, and we come back up to valuary, just look at it here on the 15-minute. If we get up here to my stop, above overnight, above New York, do I want to be short still? Probably not. So give it room to hold these previous lower high structures. Right, this small level of defense, but more so this one back here. See if this could hold, and then if we get up here, I'll reassess the shorts and look to play it a little bit higher, or see if sellers give up on the day.
I like it.
I think if it moves back down towards the lows, I'll just be like confused as to why I didn't take it. You know,
Mhm.
try not to
ES
predict
didn't
the
hit.
buyer.
ES just didn't hit New York VWAP yet.
That's fine.
No, yours
It
looks
could
good. I
play
like
around
it.
with the overnight, and if it does and comes back through, maybe I'll add in. But
I
right
like
now,
your
it's just
position.
one micro because it is 120 points here on NQ.
I like your patience, Ev.
Simone long, yeah. Michael short, yes, at 809. So what could we see here on ES? Still some more pullback, which would mean probably drawdown from my NQ, but with the bigger stop loss to allow it to try to hold. I'm fine with it. What time is it? 10. Maybe got a small break of the initial balance already? I don't know.
I'm going to join you on ES here, buddy. Small position for me. So I'm smaller in this trade than I was in the first trade.
All right.
I'd like to see us push back down into 95. There's a bunch of orders on 90.
I mean, regular trading hours are not just lower highs and lower lows. So if that lower low comes in, what excuse would I have for not being short at VWAP? That was respected 3 times today.
Right.
And all the days that I traded. So win or lose, this is a trade I have to be in.
What do you think of my stop at 33? Would you really want to be short down here at 10 if you go up to 33? No.
At the opening range low?
Yeah.
Wow. NQ's like right on its open range low. So I have open range low, New York, and overnight VWAP all to be held or rejected. So I like the short. Yeah, I think that'd be a fine stop for this play. Miles said, didn't Brian say wicks matter? Yeah, I think Brian does read the wicks. I know Austin said you better think about that more after your last podcast with him, right?
Say that again. Sorry.
You started focusing a little bit more on wicks since you had that podcast with Brian.
Mm-hmm. I think like here, we have 5 minutes until this 15-minute candle closes. So maybe I'm a couple of minutes early. So you give it some space and time to play around the VWAP. But I think your thesis makes sense. If this leg's back down, you'll want a chunk of that leg. So let's see if we can get something. I knew it might want to touch New York VWAP first. So that's why I'm not super.
You got New York VWAP outside its open range low, where my stop is like well above VWAPs. That I would definitely reassess my price from there. So nothing to do but wait. I'm just looking to take it back down to the lows. If it wants to break out, but it's back to the low.
Bruce and Randy, you guys are quiet.
I like it. I just want to wait for a little bit. Yeah,
I'm just watching everything.
Yeah, I'm just watching it off this.
I was reading a little bit about Steve Collegian. Easy Trades, SK Trading.
Yep. He almost has as many subscribers on YouTube as I do. He's catching.
I don't think he even knows.
No.
Doug, I feel like Evan would not be fun to gamble with.
I don't know. Give me a vodka Red Bull and a cigarette, Doug. We'll have a fun old time at the
It's fun.
casino.
I think it was fun.
It's a different environment, you know?
Put a smoke in Ev's mouth, give him a cold beer, he's good to go.
Yeah.
Oh,
What do you moan
We got
about?
Zarb streaming later on today, Tuesday. Feels like
Mhm.
a Monday. So
Yeah, we filmed-
got
me and
later
Zarb
on
filmed
this
a-
afternoon.
We filmed a good podcast over the weekend. Had to get in on the weekend.
Yeah.
not
Is he
in the
working on?
hotel, Mike, but it's close by. There's a Hard Rock, not far at
Yeah.
all from us.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you guys would be leaving the events at like lunch hour. To
Yeah,
get
you
to the
can't
spot.
can't hold the conference at the casino. That's too risky.
That's not good. All right,
Man,
head on
there's a
down.
bear shit in the woods, bro. Evan's smoking weed right now, probably.
Yeah, I leave that to Austin.
No, I've been with Evan. Evan, how long you been working with me, bro? Years. Evan's
years.
never smoked weed with me. It's crazy.
I mean, there's not many opportunities, but yeah, no.
No, bro. You've been at my house when we've been out in Texas, when we've been out, bro. You definitely.
No,
Definitely.
I get the
I've
second.
never
hand,
seen
you know?
Ev smoke weed, actually.
No,
Right.
I've never seen him smoke.
No, I did in high school and college, and then
He's the
just
straight
stopped.
edge.
I like the smell of it. And I like to be around it when others do it.
Yeah, so Mike's asking if we're going to the casino. So the plan, Mike, is going to be Friday after the event. We'll do a VIP dinner. After the VIP dinner, for people that come to that, we'll probably roll to the casino. That's what we did last year.
You don't have to. You can do whatever you want.
Yeah, you
I know
can
that
meet
was-
us at the
what
casino.
else
You don't
was
have to
it?
come to the dinner. I'd recommend coming to the dinner. It's an all-you-can-eat.
It was that or
steakhouse.
cigar lounge. I think Isaac wanted that. But,
Yeah,
like, those
no,
are the
that's
two
good.
options in the air, and I think we went to the casino because then there's everyone just do whatever.
Cigar lounge is boring. We're not
You
trying
can
to
make money at a cigar lounge. You can
Correct.
make money at a casino.
make that ticket back.
Yeah, make all of it back.
That kind of mentality is going to get you into trouble.
Manny, if you need a seat, bro, you let me know. Maybe we'll be able to squeeze you in, but we're close to full, bro. So that's why I had to stop selling the tickets because I knew there'd be people that are close to us that would want a ticket last minute,
I mean, we
but
had
I don't have much
3
space.
months. So 3 months of promoting it, that tickets are selling. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Someone poke this thing with a stick and wake it up. Give me a little bit. 11 a.m. injection.
Yeah,
How are you going to get that?
Austin's first trade was a nice flush. This one probably will be a bit slower. You're taking it. Remember, we spoke like Austin, like that second or third leg.
Mhm.
Yeah. Check the
We're
studio.
just gonna say done trending for the day. That was it.
No, I'm not saying that.
Here's 11 o'clock. Let's see. We'll stay on for another minute or two. See if this shakes out for us, Ev.
Yeah,
Should.
still holding the same VWAPs. No new information.
Guys, I'm going to head off.
See you, buddy.
But
Yeah.
I'm
Cheers,
chat,
Bruce.
But see if we find something. Cheers.
Yes, sir. I don't like that we're not moving back down yet. It makes me think it wants to go higher. I don't think that's
It's not moving. Don't
a
think that.
fair assessment. It's not moving higher yet either.
Yeah, don't think that.
So I don't. It's not moving higher yet. So I think this wants to come lower.
Stop
You can
thinking.
say that. Yeah, you
I
can
had the
just
word
say
think
that.
too many times.
Just because it's not the speed that you like. Market don't care about what you want. William, do I have any good videos on the mental side of trading? I'd like to think I do. Off the top of my head, I don't know. I could try to find them. Or I'll make one for you, William, just for you. really good videos, education on the mental side of trading. I mean, yeah, I think maybe I speak on it in like a little bit of every video on top of the price action stuff. But I'm sure I have a whole psychological video. Maybe James does. All right, so it's 11 o'clock. The next 15 minutes is just all buyers, and we move back higher. It's not going to look
No.
very good. But we're at the overnight view up now. My stop loss is at previous lower high from the open, really, when we flushed. So I have plenty of space. I stand to lose like $200.
Yeah, and I think if this continues like in the next 5-10 minutes, it probably comes up and stops us.
Yeah, sweep these highs here. Let's see if it continues that momentum. Well, I am catching some.
Yep. Little lift now.
So choppy. This price action is so ass.
This is
Look at this
literally what you
overnight.
said it was going to do. Move in one direction and then back the other way.
Yeah, it just sets a range. There's no like trend continuation of lower highs, lower lows, all into 2 o'clock. One slice lower. And then the low is set pretty much. I know this is a little bit lower, but like the big strong flush lower from this New York view up break, the 10 o'clock. So for the past hour, no new lows have been made.
Yep.
Right.
Alex and Evan, do you feel like this is fighting the New York VWAP?
I mean, now it's technically on the wrong side of it. Yeah. But even with the long, I mean,
When you
I
took-
probably want to see this pull back and then long it.
Right. When we took the entry, I don't think it was fighting the VWAP. We were on the right side of it. But now when you're on the wrong side of it, you got to read and react, right? So now the longs are now starting to take shape a little bit more here.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the longs are against what looks like is the trend for the day. So it's like you maybe end up just waiting to see if you get a re-entry short, if that works out.
If this wants to just still respect this level we couldn't get above all morning.
Why, Shaw? What happened? Yeah, we'll wrap up stream here in a minute, everybody. If you have any other questions, throw them in real quick. What happened, Shaw?
I'm holding.
Yeah, I'm not stopped yet.
My biggest weakness is not being able to walk away after $300, $500 loss. I'll have 15 days of trading with 13 wins and 2 days of $1,200 losses. This hurdle is massive for me. I mean, lock it out, William. Walk away. Put in a max loss. Just mature and realize that it's a long-term game. You know you can't handle losses right now, so you literally just got to pull yourself off the desk. As hard as it may be, like just walk away. And then you'll feel so much better and pleased with yourself that you didn't keep on trading. So now tomorrow you only have a $300 hole to dig out of and not $1,200.
Okay.
Yeah, doesn't matter how much you win. If you can't handle losses well and your red days are always that massive, you probably just always get maxed back to square one, unfortunately.
It was a good stream, though. Good shorts for us. I think this trade could still work out for us, Ev. Randy, good job taking the loss. Try not to
Thank
go
you.
crazy and trade 7 times the rest of the day today.
It's the first
Everybody-
trade. So if this wins, beautiful. If it loses, then we're going to probably be making looks like higher highs and higher lows. I'll maybe look for a long into the afternoon. First
If
trade,
you-
1 micro.
If you're in profit today, don't give it back. And if you're red, don't let it be a big red day. You don't want to start your week bad, everybody. That's the best advice.
Yep.
Okay.
Anjo submitted the first payout. Again, big
Huge
W's.
win.
Great
Huge
job.
win. Yeah. Love that. We'll be back, everybody, at 1 o'clock today. Zach will be live, and then we'll be back tomorrow morning. So plenty of trades for the rest of the week, plenty of streams. Again, the indicator's available now, as you guys can all see. So go grab that, and then we'll see you guys at 1 o'clock today.
Sounds good.
Thanks, everybody. See you guys.
For the best setups, there's probably 8 to 10 setups every single day that play out for relatively large profits.
Do you ever look at the higher time frames to determine, like, okay, today, if we're in a balanced market, I'm going to only be long or I'm only going to be short because of the higher time frame being in a certain position?
There has to be a maximum risk per trade because it's tough to put a structural stop in when you're just buying the level, right? I think over trading is a plague in retail trading, right? Everybody wants to be active. Everybody wants to be in the action. And that's the fastest way to ruin your account. There's more edge in waiting than there is in just taking trades. So slowing down, but when the setups appear, you got to take them.
With the guys that are taking payouts, do you have any tips that you could share with the audience of like what's working really well, especially as a VWAP or VWAP wave trader, of like what's leading the guys to payouts? Chris Drysdale back for part 2. It's good to see you, Chris. How are you?
You too, Austin. Thank you for having me back.
I'm unfortunately, I'm sad we're not in person as
I
our
know.
first one was, but
You're
I
a
moved.
Pennsylvanian now.
I know, bro. I left you guys in Florida, but I'm coming back. So it's actually funny we're talking about this. I'll be back down before that top 1 trip we were talking about, and I'm trying to do some podcasts. So we definitely need to sit down when I come down. It'll be in March. So I have the
100%.
podcast studio rented. I don't know if you saw, I did episodes with like Zach and Tanner.
I
We had,
did.
like,
Yep.
yeah,
So I'll be able to swing down for that for sure.
perfect. All right, good. So you come do that. That'll be good. So we're all right. Even at the beginning of the episode, now we got a part 3 coming. You know, it's
Part
funny. That
3.
studio, bro, had Logan Paul in it doing a bunch of podcasts a couple weeks ago. So that studio
Really?
is like now blown
Oh,
up.
crazy.
Yeah. So it's
Yeah.
super cool.
That's awesome.
So
Can't
no,
wait.
very excited for that. Chris also will be at the Futures Boot Camp. We've got over 70 people coming to that, which is nearly double of last year. So I'm super grateful for that. And it's in part thanks to Chris. I have to be honest and give credit where it's due. Chris has sold a lot of tickets. So we'll chat about that a little bit today, Chris. Everybody listening, we're going to do a screen share as well on today's podcast. So make sure if you're driving when you're listening to this, you mark it, come back to it, watch it on YouTube, watch it on Spotify so you can actually see Chris's trades. Because I think when we left part 1, we didn't get too much into strategy, Chris, because we were sitting down. It was hard. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. We did talk a lot of theory and my background and history, and we talked about the book, but we didn't get into the nitty gritty.
The
Didn't
nitty
have a
gritty.
chance.
And now like streams blowing up. I see you every day on stream crushing it. Indicators crushing it. So you got a couple of things we got to touch on for sure. But before we get into the strategy and the screen share, let's talk boot camp, bro. So
Sure.
this will be the first time you've ever done anything like this in person, right?
In trading, yes. So, I have a 20-year career in marketing where I've done tons of public speaking, and I really enjoy it. So this will be a great opportunity for me to do this in person for my trading career at this point. So it's a kind of a watershed moment for me, and it's very exciting, and it's thanks to you. And
Oh,
I
it's a
appreciate
team
the
effort,
faith
bro.
and the backing of you guys. So it's
For
awesome.
sure. So this will be my 14th event. They
Wow.
started super small in 2019. And now we've grown into this big thing where we're taking up we're shutting down the hotel for 2 or 3 days here with
Love
all the
it.
people.
Yeah.
What are you going to be talking about that people can look forward to? I asked
Sure.
Brian this question in the podcast
Yeah.
2 weeks ago, and I threw him off guard a little bit. He was not ready. He's like, I don't really know yet. We'll see.
Yeah.
It's a long time away. But I
Yeah.
know you, and I feel like you're cooking something. So can you give
Right.
the listeners an insight into not only what you're going to give them, but what you're going to talk about? One of the biggest mistakes that I see traders making is they're choosing their prop firm based on emotion instead of logic. They're chasing cheap accounts, flashy payouts, or whatever somebody posted on Twitter without understanding the rules, the drawdown mechanics, or whether the account even fits how they trade. That's why I'm really excited to announce today's sponsor is Prop Firm Match. Prop Firm Match lets you compare over 40 different vetted prop firms on the stuff that actually matters, like trailing versus static drawdown, payout rules, copy trading limits, pricing, and long-term scalability all in one place, propfirmmatch.com. What I also really like is firms that I've actually traded with, like Top One Futures, are listed on Prop Firm Match as some of the top firms for 2026. So you're not just getting random rankings, you're seeing real, relevant options that serious traders are using. Now, if you're treating your trading like a real business and you're not trying to gamble between account roulette to hope your payouts hit, head to propfirmmatch.com, do your research, and then use the code MATCH at whatever prop firm you choose to save the most money possible. Again, propfirmmatch.com, compare your firms, and then hit that code MATCH with whatever firm you'd like to save on your next challenge. Now let's get back to the video.
Yeah, absolutely. So, it will be a keynote on VWAP Wave in particular. But I would like to give the attendees a little something special if they're going to make their way out for the conference. So I've been putting together a couple of new ideas for the conference itself, some variations on VWAP Wave, some of the psychology part, and how to trade a discretionary system with a mechanical framework, where I believe true edge lives for the retail trader. So we're going to be talking a lot about that. Yep.
Love that tagline. Okay, so can you elaborate on that a little bit more? It seems like you've put some thought into that idea of like,
Yeah, of course. I think as
taking-
retail traders, our biggest edge is in our ability to use our minds and have logic, right? We are not computers, nor are we trying to trade like computers. In fact, if we did, we'd probably lose. We're not as fast. We're not as capable of computing information as fast as a computer. So we got to put that to the side. So where's our strength as retail traders, right? It's our ability to read and think and make logical decisions that a computer can't currently. Maybe it will in the future. It can't currently, or at least we don't have access to it. So I do believe that there's a lot of opportunity for our nimbleness to get in and out of the market, to trade smaller size, and to make money in the futures market, using tools to be able to read the story the market's telling us and execute on an edge in a discretionary framework.
Do you like when you say that, executing the edge of a discretionary framework with some type of structure here? Like, do you feel like that's what traders are lacking? Is like they get the idea of being discretionary, but they aren't able to put a functioning framework in place around that? Is that where this idea comes from?
100%. I view it as a pendulum, right? So
Okay.
if one side of the pendulum, they're trying to be rigid, rule-based. If I just execute a trade when this signal occurs, then I'll be profitable. And that's usually quickly abandoned because as soon as the system starts losing, they're like, this doesn't work. Or if it were so mechanical, you just program an algo to do it for you and you wouldn't need to trade. You could go sit out by the pool and let your algo print money for you. But yet here we all are sitting in front of our computers. On the other side, it's too discretionary where we're just kind of shooting from the hip. It's going up, it's going down. You really don't have any principles or guiding framework to maneuver in. So I think there's the edge lives in the balance between the two. Having a mechanical framework with a discretionary ability to make decisions within that.
Love that.
framework.
I love that. What are you going to share with everyone that they can like take away? Will they be walking out of this with a trade that they can apply and start to trade themselves? Will they need to read the book and deep dive it more? What's the takeaway? Do you have a thought about that yet?
Yeah, they'll be, if they're new to VWAP Wave, they're definitely going to be able to walk out of that conference with something new, some ideas, some new tools that they'll be able to implement immediately. They won't need to spend $1 on an indicator or anything. All perfectly possible for them to implement on day one. So
Cool.
That's my key, to give them some takeaways for that.
I love that.
Yeah.
And then we'll throw you on the panel. So I'm going to make sure that I think I have you on the panel with Brian for the VWAP strategy, because I think just getting everyone that trades heavy VWAP on the same panel for an hour and a half, maybe an hour and 20 minutes, that'll be a really good discussion. And I hope there will be some disagreements. I hope there will be some moments of contention that the audience can find value.
I love it. I've kind of dreamt about this moment, Austin, because he talks heavily, I've read his book, obviously. I've read it more than once. And some of his own concepts have bled their way into my system. But one difference in particular is I use VWAP deviations. He does not, and that's a big one, right? That's a big part of how I believe the market works. And it'll be interesting to have that conversation with him, not in a conflict type way,
No,
but
just a
I'm
different
super
lens.
interested to just discuss it.
Yeah. I think
Yeah.
like when I've done 4 hours with him and
Mhm.
we've talked extensively about VWAP, never repeating anything. And we
Yeah.
never get into the deviation bands. It's
Right.
never a discussion. So that'll definitely be interesting.
Yeah, I think so too.
To me, like his style, like he knows that we're futures traders. He knows that we're day traders for the most
Mhm.
part. I'm interested to see how he spins his style into making it something applicable for what we do.
Agreed.
I think my thought is like when you come to these events, you want to leave not just meeting some cool people, getting a signed book from you and Brian and whatever, and pictures with everybody, seeing how short I am. They like not just that.
But how bald I am.
Right. But also, what's the over under on the bald guys on the stage? No.
Oh, it's pretty good. I see.
It's good. We got good ratio.
Yeah.
Bald guys and beards.
Right.
But like they want to leave with something tactical. That's why I asked you that, because it's like, okay, I spent $1,000 to come, plus my flight, plus my hotel. I'm leaving my family. Can I take something from this and actually go make money? And no one has ever said that they've come to one of our events and not been able to do that. So like for me, there's other events in the industry, without saying names, of this guru's running this conference, but like I hear how people leave those events with pictures for Instagram. And like I'm very adamant about having people like yourself on stage that are the opposite of that and provide this deep value where like we want more questions after. Like I think that I can see this going in a way where at the end of your keynote, people want to talk to you more after, and they're going to come bother you at the happy hour on Thursday after, after, and they're going to want to deep dive it with you. But that's like, I think the best way that this can end. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. And luckily I'm used to talking about it 24/7 ad nauseum. So
Yep.
perfectly
so
ready for it.
add some whiskey and add some good food, and it's going
Yeah,
to be a great
incessant.
conversation. Yeah.
Perfect.
So, okay, that'll be good. So everybody, if you didn't know, we have like 9 tickets left at the time, 8 tickets at the time of me filming this. So we are running out. There's going to be people as we get close to try to grab these. So just head to asfx.biz/bootcamp, asfx.biz/bootcamp. That's the link for it. So, but now that we can dive into some strategy, Chris, I think if you could share with us the overarching theme of how you operate as a trader, similar to how you described it in part one, just about how you view markets. Let's just go high level first, then we'll
Sure.
turn the chair on and get into this nitty gritty.
Absolutely. So my entire system is based on auction market theory. So auction market theory states that the market is always in one of two states. We're either in balance or price discovery. Most people are familiar with balance as a rotational market. They might call it a ranging market. And that's where there's an agreement on price. So price gets to the upside of a balance area, sellers step in, move price down, gets to the bottom side of a value area. Buyers step in, move price up, and it tends to just rotate, meander through this balance area until price is eventually taken over by one side, whether it be the bulls, the bears, and they move themselves out of that value area. And it's now in price discovery. And what is it discovering? It's discovering a new value area, essentially. So it will move until there's a new agreement on price. We'll establish a new rotational market until it breaks out again. And then we go in discovery of a new value area. And this just happens in perpetuity, right? So a big part of my system is being able to establish what condition are we in definitively, and what setup should I be trading that's conducive to this market condition. Okay, so that's always what I'm asking myself. Now,
What condition?
a little more complicated is that markets are fractal. So, we could see the same behavior on a lower time frame and a completely different behavior on the higher time frame. What do I mean by that? We could be in price discovery on the day, but we could be in balance on the month, right? So we're not always in one-on-one, but we do look for confluence, right? So we could be in price discovery on multiple time frames, or we can be in balance on multiple time frames. And we have ways of looking at that and kind of deciding. We have tools. We use volume profile from the daily on up. We use the initial balance, several of the initial balance on the day, and we use multiple VWAPs. We use the weekly, the monthly, and the intraday VWAP to help us decide where we are in that value pattern or whether we're in price discovery.
Makes sense.
So I don't like calling them indicators because there's so much more, right? That would group them into the same thing as like a moving average. And to
Sure.
me, it's so much different. I call them my auction tools.
Okay.
Right? That helps me analyze and read the auction. What is taking place?
Why does auction market theory work? Why is
I think it's just how price tends to move, right? Price goes up, price goes down. We have buyers and sellers. That's it, right?
because you got the
So-
ICT concepts, you got
Yeah.
the turtle soups and this and that, and then you get this other term, auction market theory. But it's
Yeah.
much older than ICT. Like this is
It's
not
much
a new-
older.
right?
This
goes
goes
way
back to the 70s and 80s.
right. So then
you know,
this has been around, and then there's these new terms that get put over it. It seems like.
correct.
So when
Yeah.
you're looking at this, does this type of a market condition dependent approach, which is what you're talking about,
Yep.
does that favor trading every day? Are you able to read every day?
It can, and there's different ways of reading the market to favor different trading styles. So it can be applied to scalping, it could be applied to day trading, it could be applied to swing trading, it could be applied to investing and position holding.
Sure.
So you just have to adapt it accordingly,
Sure.
right? So
Okay.
what time frame are you trading on, essentially, and then
Makes
adapt.
sense.
Yep.
And what's interesting to me is like this still works even today in the way that you look at it with so many algorithms driving the market. You would think
Right.
maybe that would have changed this, but it seems like I guess it hasn't. Zero
Yeah.
DTE plays now into, but it's still looking at these value areas and determining, are we in discovery? Are we in consolidation? That's still
Right.
a way to read the market correctly. So how does VWAP play into that? Before we get into the screen share, why are you using VWAP at all if you're looking at just these key price levels, key prices?
Sure. So
A longtime friend of the podcast, TradeZella is offering you, as the listener, 20% off their journaling software. The back testing is incredible, and they have a ton of new features coming in 2026. So use the code ASFX to save 20% at tradezella.com. Again, the code is ASFX at tradezella.com. Hey traders, you've probably heard me mention the Black Shirt Club before. That's our group coaching program. We meet 3 times per week. We actually have a meeting today, and we are looking for some of you to fill empty seats in the mentorship. A couple of people just graduated to finish the year, so we want to make sure the group stays full. Head to asfx.biz/BSC to read more about what the club includes, you can also go to that website and book a free call with me. I'll hop on with you for 10 minutes and I'll answer any questions that you have. This is a $500 a month program. No like crazy fees, no hidden contracts, no cancel anytime. We're very flexible. We're not here to hurt you. We are here to help you make more money and help you get around traders that are trying to better themselves through more discipline and more accountability. So if that sounds like something that interests you, asfx.biz/BSC.
VWAP tends to act as a magnet, right? So it's the average price according to the volume. And we believe that most of that volume is larger players than us, right? These are players that need to fill larger positions. They need to get in and out of their positions. They don't just hit the sell button like we do and close their computer and walk away from the day. They might need to spend several days building a position or closing a position. So we know that the VWAP is a execution tool for them, right? Buying and selling above or below VWAP helps them gauge of how they're doing. So, and how do we know that? It's because we've been told, right? We know lots of institutional traders that have come forth. They do interviews. We've heard it, even the guys on this floor of the New York Stock Exchange, right? They get an order to fill for an institutional client. They go over, they press a button, they have their VWAP algorithm that starts picking up the position automatically for them,
right,
based on VWAP. So that's why we believe it works. We do believe that a lot of the algos are programmed around VWAP. We do believe they're programmed around the deviation bands. That's why they're also very interesting levels. 1, 2, 3 deviations on price.
Or like the algos are looking for a price to do something at that deviation band?
Correct.
Is that what you're saying?
Yep. They're looking to either defend, right, or break, right, push away to
And
force
is that
another.
dependent on condition? Is that dependent on if we're in consult? Right. Okay. So what does VWAP, in the way you use it, will the VWAP work better in the inside the value areas versus outside the value areas? Does that make sense?
It will behave differently. Right.
Okay.
So when we're in balance, we'll see price rotate around VWAP. It'll go
Okay.
up and down around it. Whereas in a trending market, we won't visit it very often, if at all. And it generally, if we do touch it, it acts like a springboard, and we'll touch it and boom, next leg up is generally what we get.
And do you find more trending trades with this, or are you more finding reversion trades with this?
It's both. And, we're going to, any given day or any given time, the market could be in balance or price discovery. So, if you're a scalper, there's going to be a ton of setups for you to take. If you're looking for bigger move trades, you'll probably get a handful of trades a day. I would say for the best setups, there's probably 8 to 10 setups every single day that play out for relatively large.
To some people, that's a lot. Are you
It
talking
is a lot.
on ES and NQ, NYM, or just on one, on just NQ?
On just one, yeah. And we put together a market recap every day, pointing out where the setups took place. The point of that is not to be hindsight, look at all these great trades. But when you do it every day, it builds some trust in the system that these trades materialize each and every day. Now,
Agreed.
It's not like they're guaranteed. I'm not saying that we come to a setup and it works every time, but they're very high probability, and oftentimes they set up to the tick. So much, in fact, that people start expecting them to play out to the tick, which is not good, right? We tend to treat it as zones, but it's incredible how often they do set up so perfectly.
Maybe that to the tick is the algorithms.
Could be. Could very well be.
Do you want to
But
get
it's,
into the screen share? Let me put your
let's do
screen
it.
on. So we're going to switch over, everybody. If you're still listening, you're hanging with us. We can see Chris's screen now. I want to maybe just kind of let you take the ball here, Chris. Or you want to show us some trades from today? You want to show us some previous trades?
I'm going to show you this week. I'm going to show.
Okay.
So it is January, for anybody listening, it's the 28th. It's a Wednesday. And we've had price discovery. That's setup number 1 in the system play out perfectly every single day this week. Okay. Today it worked better on ES. Monday and Tuesday it was better on NQ. Now this is the 2-minute. It's a naked chart on ES. All right. All I'm going to do is I'm going to add the Globex VWAP. That's the Globex that opens at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and with 1 standard deviation band.
Okay.
Okay. So this is ES today. All right. So this is what we consider a balanced market. Okay. Generally, we're looking to fade the bands. We're pretty close to it. We got 2 setups to the tick here long. Now, these would have been probably you had to front run them. These actually played out perfectly on NQ. So these would have been your long opportunities as we trade in this value area. Okay.
Okay.
once we broke, all right, we broke out here. We got some
Mhm.
continuation to the downside. All right, we're looking to short on the pullback. This one overshot a little bit. Pullback, short, pullback, short, pullback, short, pullback, short, pullback
It's beautiful today.
to the band every single time, except for, this was a little messier. Right. So we call this the
Why
price
is that?
discovery continuation.
Why is that messier there, do you think?
It's hard to say. There could have been more of a battle here we call this the transitionary period. These can be some of the messier setups. That's where it transitions from a balance area to a price discovery potential. Then once we establish ourselves into price discovery, it tends to clean up.
That makes
Okay,
sense.
so there
I mean,
could be a
also that
battle
took out-
here between the traders trying to keep it in balance versus the ones that are trying to send it down.
That makes sense. And that took out or overnight lows as well once it started to move out. So then that probably gives it the extra gas it needs to really
Yep.
want to move lower. What do you think, like inside that chop in the balanced market, the longs off the bottom of the band, tell everyone, or the shorts off the top if you want to look at the NQ,
Mhm.
how would you enter those trades specifically?
Let's actually go to, so you guys are going to love this. Let me actually clean this up a little bit. Actually, let's go over to this NQ. Okay, so these played out a lot cleaner on NQ. All right, here was the long. That was the long. We had a long there. Little scalp, but they were going right to the band, right in the beginning of the market in that balance area, right? We could also see the bands constricting, right? So we just have this balanced market. We've been trading in balance.
So will you
Right.
buy it just as a market order?
I
at that-
do. As soon as it gets, so I look at it as a price level zone that I want to engage.
Got it.
Okay. Once we get there, I'm looking to execute. I'm not looking for confirmation. I'm not waiting for it to bounce up and close or anything like that. What I am looking at is I'm looking at some order flow. So I do have Delta up on a side monitor here, looking at the active buyers and sellers. And I also listen to the tape through Tick Strike, which I'm
Got it.
sure you've heard of. So I'm listening for a slowdown of selling. I'm looking for some aggressive buying to step in, but I'm generally just looking to buy the setup. And it
And then
either
what about-
works or it doesn't.
What about a stop loss on that? Like, how will you know when that trade is done?
So I do want to give it a little room for overshoot, right? We call that excess price. It does happen, right?
Okay.
So generally, depending on volatility, this would be open. I generally give it 20 points, maybe a little more. There has to be a maximum risk per trade because it's tough to put a structural stop in when you're just buying the level, right?
Right.
I'm expecting it to work. So I'll give it a little room. I'll give it a max amount. If I hit my max loss, I'm out. Didn't work. Sometimes it could stop me out and go. That's just the nature of trading in a lot of ways.
What
Anyway.
do you
So-
tell everybody to shoot for on a win rate on this type of a strategy?
So generally, you could have a pretty high win rate. Obviously, the smaller the moves you go for off these levels, you're going to have a higher win rate.
Sure.
So, just that's the nature of going for smaller moves. If you go even just for a 1-to-1 risk to reward, you can shoot in the neighborhood of around a 65 to a 75% win rate.
And then with these trades, where do you take profit? Are you looking to get out at the VWAP at the middle there, or do you always run it all the way up to the top?
No, generally, I'm always looking at the next logical level that will be in the way. VWAP
Yeah.
would be one of them. Partial profit taking you can do and try and holding to the other side of the value area. This would be the top though.
Yeah.
This would
Do
be
you
a
ever
final
look at-
exit.
Do you ever look at the higher time frames to determine, like, okay, today, if we're in a balanced market, I'm going to only be long or I'm only going to be short because of the higher time frame being in a certain position?
Absolutely. So, here we look at the weekly and the monthly. All right. So we kind of look for confluence, right? We've been in quite a bit of price discovery off. You can even see this thing touching the weekly upper band for a
Yep.
price discovery continuation off that high. But once we start trading, we call this the return to value setup, right? Once we start accepting in it, I'm not looking for as much strength to the upside. The likelier trade is a short down to weekly VWAP here, but that might not happen today. That might happen tomorrow.
Interesting.
But generally, we try to line up the confluence.
Do you find, like, indices as a whole will be in price discovery or balance one side of the coin more than another? Or is it pretty 50-50?
It's pretty 50-50, I would say. I mean, I think we tend to spend more time ranging than we do in price discovery, just in general.
Sure.
You know, when the moves happen, they happen quick. You know, we've been spending a lot of time, you know, like these days here. You know, that was
Yeah.
a lot of sideways action.
Yep.
Right. But this is a higher time frame. There's a 30-minute chart. And then, you know, the volume profile we use as well, not just the VWAP. We use the volume profile, right? So these are value areas that have been built, right, by the level of volume. Right. So we expect these, you know, so this is value, right? Price discovery, value, price discovery, value, right?
Yeah.
Value.
Are you
know,
using
so-
it like previous value area high, previous value area low levels? Or are you
Absolutely.
okay? So
Yep.
like what's the difference between those and then just being outside the bands?
So there is not much of a difference. That's the beauty. We actually
Okay.
treat them in the same type of concept. So interesting enough, Austin, the concepts on the VWAP and the bands originated in the volume profile. So you would
Explain-
take these exact concepts and apply it to the profile, right? So if we're trading in here, this is the balance area.
Yeah.
Right. If we break above, that value area high is now the band, looking for the launch. Right. It's not going to ride it as nice as like the band does, but the concept is the same.
Got it. Interesting. And any like just point of control play into this at all? Because then that would be where 70% of, right, they say volume is traded the previous day. So then are you looking at that as like that's balance?
Yep. So if it's a current value area, like a current distribution we're in right now,
Mhm.
we'll treat that as a balanced market. So we'll tend to rotate around it like a magnet. So
Sure.
price will come to the edge of value and we'll come right back to it. However, if we were to sell off and come down to like an old point of control, like here, right, we would expect it to bounce off of that like a VWAP bounce, because this is you know, it's an old volume
previous
area.
one.
This is where a lot of people are positioned. Probably the institutions are going to defend it very much like the VWAP. So
Interesting.
we call that a naked point of control. Come down, and we expect a bounce very similar. That would be setup number 4.
Interesting. So how many naked point of controls can you have? Or is it just when it's not been touched?
It's just when it's not been
Like
touched.
is that
So we
one
have
down
one
there to the left?
We got
also
one
one?
here. Yeah.
Yeah.
This one technically was touched.
Right.
Yep. So we do have one right here. I don't think price quite reached it, but pretty darn close. But
And
it
then
happens quite a bit. We have one down here too.
that, yeah. Okay. So I am seeing it right. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. So when people are like learning this with you, Chris, they're watching you on stream. They see you doing it and you process this at a high level. What mistakes are they making that you have to correct them on often?
There's a lot, you know, because it is a lot. It's not like the simplest, we try to make it simple, and it starts simple with just deviation bands, buy above them, sell below them, right? If you're in balance, fade the extremes. But, you know, if it were that easy, you know, there probably wouldn't be as much work needed to teach it. And there is. So some of the common mistakes we often see are the transition between balance and price discovery. That's the trickiest. Price can often break out of a value area and reject right back into it.
Okay.
And just because we're trading up here, people are like, we broke the line, like we're in price discovery. And that's not quite accurate, right? We want to look for price acceptance first, right? So what do we mean by acceptance? We need time or distance in price discovery. We don't want just price to visit it for 2 minutes, and because then it could just reject right back down. It happens all the time. We need it to accept. We want to spend time and move away and show that
Do you
we're
have a
gonna.
number, like how much time?
Yep, and that's a common question. The answer is no. You know, I could tell you what it's not. You know, it's not 2 minutes. It's
Sure.
not. You know,
How
it's
would
not
you read
quick.
it to the downside there today when it breaks out, it comes back in for 2 minutes and then it keeps going
Yeah.
lower?
So this is, this is like a good, probably I would consider this, 10 minutes, 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Of disagreement before it happened. It could take a lot longer. Pre-market or Globex can be a lot slower
Sure.
with the acceptance. If we go back to Monday, all right, so this was Monday here. All right, so this is Monday on NQ.
Mhm.
All right, this would be more acceptance. Right,
Holding
so
above it.
we've been there for an hour, right? We've
Yeah.
been trading in out of the bands for an hour.
So now you're buying touches to the band every time
Right,
it
as
comes.
soon as it gets to this band, I'm going
Buy.
long.
Yep.
Boom. Right. Once it gets to the band, I'm buying. Boom.
Are these
Once it
separate
gets-
trades?
Yes.
And then are you going to exit full or are you going to trail?
I'm usually gonna exit full. I'll try and take partials on the way up, but I'm not big of a trailer. They always seem to get hit, so I try
They
and just
always
take,
get hit.
I always try to just take profits into key areas generally.
So would this be one of the days that you have to make all your money? Like, because like this day is just so clean and it pays so well. So do you have to crush it on this day and then like survive the other days where it overshoots a little bit and it's kind of choppy?
So we do have people that dedicate themselves to just PDC, right? They'll only trade this environment and ignore the rest, which I think is great. But I'm also really good at balance trading. So I'll keep an eye on a distribution forming. And, once we're just doing this, I'm just scalping this stuff like crazy. And I'm printing
Can
money.
you show me an example of that? What's PDC? Price discovery
continuation.
Price discovery continuation.
Yep.
I was going to say price discovery center, but no, that's not it.
So if we were to drop a volume profile on here.
Okay.
All right. So this would be the same concept. We like to scalp, right? We have a distribution,
Mm-hmm.
right? We definitely have like a value area high and a value area low, right? So I'd be looking to buy the bottoms. I mean, this wouldn't be established yet, but buying over here, shorting the band together, right? So this is not clean anymore. This is kind of sideways. But once I see a lot of volume building, I have confidence that this thing is just going to price is going to get sucked right back into it at this point in the day. So
I think that makes sense. I definitely follow that, especially just looking at how far, it's been from VWAP and things like that. Do you find that you're taking any trades outside the bands and away from the VWAP even further, like 2-3 standard deviations away?
Generally, no. The second, third bands are generally a sign of, extreme pricing, but that doesn't mean they need to reverse, as you know. We can keep going up. We can grind longer than most.
Right.
Yeah. Or go sideways.
Right.
So generally they're a sign to me of strength. So it's, look out, right? Don't short this. Don't buy this. You need to wait and see some structure.
Okay. So let's go back. I think that there's more on the question I had about like the traders who make this mistakes. Any other common mistakes that you're thinking people make that are worth touching on? Like if someone's listening to this and they're like, okay, I want to try, I want to scalp like this. This is how I want to be involved in markets, but I don't want to fall into the same traps that other people are that are, confusing them. What would you say to that?
So most people get drawn to the VWAP wave system because it is so visual. They're like, oh man, look how nice it reacts to the bands and just buy above, sell below, fade in between. Like that sounds so easy. I can do that. And that is true to a degree, but we don't just look at the bands and we don't just look at the VWAP, right? To execute this system well, I also have on a volume profile at all times. This gives me an idea of the microstructure of where acceptance is actually building in real time. Right. So this will give me additional clues for when the band is a great setup or when I should just ignore the band altogether, like it is here, just stitching across it. Right. The band is no longer a good setup there. And why is that? Because this is now a high volume node. And what do we know about high volume nodes is that price is choppy and tends to rotate around them. Okay. So I don't want it to be diddling in the middle, as they love to say. Right.
The kids love to say that. Does this work in the Asian session? Have you tried this in the Asian session? It
does. Yeah, I do have an Asian stream. I trade Tuesday and Wednesday. I trade tonight at 7 to 8. We do some gold, some silver.
Okay.
We'll do some NQ and ES if it's moving,
Silver, you need some size in the account to trade some silver, right?
Yeah. I've been trading I've been on a heater lately with silver in my cash account.
Why? What do you think? I remember you texted me when we were talking about that. What are you seeing so well?
Well, just the volatility is so good, and it's been treating our levels so good as well, right? The VWAP has been treated really well on silver. The setups. This was last night in silver. I caught this long right here off the VWAP.
Breaks out previously, pulls back to VWAP. You're buying the touch of the VWAP.
Took a
For
while to
rolling out.
break out, held, and then we had PDCs. I didn't trade these, but it's been reacting really well to the VWAP wave throughout, and with the upkick in volatility, it's been excellent.
Is that
We've
a
had lot
sign of? I was gonna say, is that a sign of the big players getting involved?
Yeah,
in
for
the
sure.
server?
Absolutely. But also there's some macro fundamental stuff playing out where,
sure.
just it seems the dips always get bought and this thing's going.
Well,
God
it's
knows
an
where.
interesting scenario right now with
Yeah.
physical prices higher than
Yep.
paper prices. So we know paper's got to catch up.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So everybody's going long. There's a lot of confidence to buy the dips. There's plenty of flushes. As we all know, the margin's been increased a lot. So you can
Yep.
get liquidated very easily, especially in a cash account. I actually trade this, don't judge me, but in a Robinhood account. I have
Nice.
a lot of money in that account.
Nice.
But what's nice about that account is I need $60,000 to trade one silver contract.
Really?
So I do in margin.
I didn't
So
realize it
keeps
was
me
that much.
honest.
Okay. they're not fucking around then.
They're
All
not.
right.
They're not fucking around. No.
That's crazy. Okay, cool. With the conversation about brokers and Robinhood for a 2nd,
Mhm.
prop stuff, update us there. Because when you and I spoke before, we didn't deep dive the prop firms too much. What's been up with your community? What's been up with your trading? Who are you trading with? What are you liking these days? What are you not liking?
Yeah, I still like Top One Futures. I think they're an excellent firm. I've had a lot of success with them. I was a big Top Step trader for a long time, and then we had all those wacky issues with Project X. I wrote an open letter to Michael on X.
I
And
saw
he
it.
he responded. He said he'd hope to win us back. That was it. So we'll see what happens. I like them a lot, to be honest. But I can't tolerate that kind of
Well, the issues were
issues.
crazy.
It is. And I'm not a fan of how they rug pulled everybody with Project X. I don't think that was cool either. I understand why they did it, but they should have just kept it for themselves then. But maybe they made a decision last minute. They wanted it back. I don't know what happened behind closed
dude,
doors.
No way, bro. They knew what they were doing because they got
That's what I'm
everyone.
saying. So get everybody
they
to
got all the
adopt it,
data.
rug pull, and now everybody wants to use Project X.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I'm happy with Tradeovate. So I think firms like, I think Tradeify has it, Top One Futures has it. If you got Tradeovate, you're going to be okay. There's going to be other firms that disappear. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a lot of sketchy firms still that are only offering Project X. Those will disappear in the next couple of months too, because Project X, like you said, is going straight to Top Step. That's it. So yeah. So what about anything else in your community? Like with the guys that are taking payouts, do you have any tips that you could share with the audience of like what's working really well, especially as a VWAP or VWAP wave trader, of like what's leading the guys to payouts?
Yeah, I mean, our best traders in our community tend to be more scalpers, right? They take smaller, quick, level-to-level trades, accumulate them in an hour or two, and then they're done for the day. They tend not to trade all day. They tend to focus on one or two instruments. They tend to focus on one or two setups that they really, really, really like, and just wait for those conditions to materialize. They hit them, and then that's it. So they keep it simple, right? They understand their setups. They understand what they're looking for. They're waiting for. I think over trading is a plague in retail trading, right? Everybody wants to be active. Everybody wants to be in the action, and that's the fastest way to ruin your account. There's more edge in waiting than there is in just taking trades. So slowing down, but when the setups appear, you got to take them. So
it's great advice. When the guys come to you, Chris, and they're like, I got a couple of guys that are saying this to me right now. They're like, I know over trading is my issue, but I don't have the discipline to stop. Do you have any hacks for guys that are struggling with discipline to control themselves?
I mean, I could tell you a couple of things I did because it was a struggle for me. Do you know what those time safes are? Where you can have it's literally a safe with a timer on it, and it doesn't unlock until the timer runs out.
Really?
I used to have a timer safe, and I would put my mouse in the timer safe, and I would lock it for 10 minutes, right? And I wasn't allowed. I couldn't trade for 10 minutes. I couldn't if I wanted to. It's locked in there, right? I also had a requirement after every single time I traded that I had to go on a walk, not like a long walk, but I had to get up from the computer. I had to physically get up, walk away from the computer, pet the cat, get a drink, or whatever it was to just separate me from my last trade. Because, we get sucked into sitting here and staring at every single tick in the market, and it's not necessary. You don't have to do that. In fact, you should know where your trades live before you engage the market. And if you don't, there's a problem. I think, it's not just like, oh, it's moving now, get in, right? You should know where your level of engagement is before it happens. If you need to set an alert, but wait for it to get there and then take the trade.
Great tips, Chris. You're
Mhm.
always such a wealth of knowledge. I try not to cut you off when you're talking, but I
Oh,
always,
thank you.
yeah, dude. I mean, your experience is so good, and I think that's probably why you're gaining popularity so quickly.
Mhm. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely, dude. I'm really looking forward to your speech at the boot camp. Last year, I learned a lot from the other guys. That's why I brought some new faces this year. I'm excited to learn from you and the other guys. I'm glad you're staying too. We'll have a couple of good dinners, have a couple of good hangouts, a couple of good drinks. So it'll be really good. Anything you want to leave the audience with? Where can they find more about VWAP Wave, Chris? I know you got the book out. Everybody, the book's on Amazon. That's easy to find. But
Yep,
where else?
of course. There's a free setup guide. They could get that at VWAPWave.com. That's free for anybody who wants to learn the 4 core setups. There's a guide to that for free. There's the free Discord at TraderDrysdale.com. Trader Drysdale is my handle on all social media. So there's a ton of free content out there for anybody who's interested, just wants to dip their toe in, see
And
what
the
it's all
stream.
about.
You got to go to the stream.
And the stream. Stream is delayed though. It's a 2-minute delayed stream. The Discord has the low latency live stream.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, good. So we'll put the links down in the description to the video, everybody. I think we leave it here, Chris. Any questions people have, if you stayed all the way through and watched it, comments, hit the comments, because Chris and I are going to sit down and do another episode in a few months, and we'll deep dive any questions or any areas of concern that we need to cover. But I think you did a great job explaining it, Chris. I think anyone that watched this and wants to learn more knows that you're the guy to talk to about the VWAP Wave. And I really like the way you trade with the deviation bands in combination with the volume. So it's a really, really cool combo you got. And I love supporting you, bro, and just sending more people to you, because I think, I have people that come on stream and say, I was in Drysdale stream. He's great. Like, people talk really, really well about you. So it's good to have people like you in our corner. Yeah, man. Absolutely.
I appreciate the support, and I love just helping people, and I love you guys, and looking forward to hanging out with you in Tampa. And you've built a great community, and I consider you a leader. So you've just done a great
when
job.
I stand on the chair, I look taller. So then it fits. I get the part.
Exactly.
Thanks, bro. I
Soapbox.
appreciate it. Soapbox. Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
That's why we got an extra tall stage at the boot camp, right? Everybody you won't see behind the podium. I'm on a couple of yellow books. But this is a great part 2 for us, Chris. I'm looking forward to part 3. Listeners, make sure you're subscribed. We got new episodes coming every Saturday. Don't want you to miss those. Only on the Day Trading Show here for us. But we'll put a pin in it for today. Chris, enjoy the rest of your afternoon, buddy. Thank you so much. Listeners, thank you for staying, and we'll see you guys next Saturday.
Thanks, Austin.
What's up, traders? Today, we're talking prop firms. I've got my top firms for 2026. I'm going to give you information on how to pick the right firm for you. That's what's most important, right? There's so many prop firms out there. Number one, you want to make sure you're trusting the right people, but you want to also make sure you're trading with a firm that is aligned to benefit you as closely as possible. There's some firms that have rules that may hurt your style of trading. They may make it harder for you. And trading's hard enough as it is, as we all know. So let's make it easier and trade with a firm that's going to make the payouts come in with the smoothest journey possible. If you're new to my videos, my name is Austin Silver. Welcome to the channel. I drop trading tutorials all week long. I stream live on ASFX TV every day showing how I trade, taking payouts. And I also post new podcasts every Saturday for the Day Trading Show. So make sure you subscribe. I got a ton of trading content. I've been doing this for over 10 years. When we talk about prop trading, my prop trading journey goes back to when I worked for T3 Trading, T3 Live. I think that was 2017, 2018. So I got into the prop space in a different way than a lot of you guys know the prop space. You guys know prop firms in the new sense, which are really like funding companies. But the prop firm business has been around for many, many years. And I've seen the evolution from that when I was on Wall Street to the Forex prop trading space, and now focused very heavily on the futures prop trading space. So today I want to give you, my opinion, which hopefully has some weight since I have so many years in this business and we've had so much success with prop trading in our community. If you know, I run the Black Shirt Club, which is one of the most popular trading coaching programs in the business. We've had last year over $250,000 in payouts for our traders. So hopefully this year we're going to double that. It's off to a good start so far. And I'm going to talk to you a little bit about where those payouts are coming from as we get into this video today. So first thing I want to talk about is how do we know who to trust when it comes to prop firms? The simple answer, everybody, is Prop Firm Match. You're going to go to the link in the description to this video, or propfirmmatch.com. You're going to use the code MATCH, M-A-T-C-H, with all of the firms I'm going to talk to you about today. That's going to save you the best discount. Now, these firms are vetted. In order to get on Prop Firm Match's website, you are, as a firm, going to be looked at with a very close eye. In fact, there was some drama in the industry, as there always is recently, and Prop Firm Match was the first company that does this type of ranking system stuff. The first company, in my opinion, the right way to do it. They got ahead of it and they delisted the company that was involved in the drama. So the firms that are here, in all honesty, are all great. But I'm going to give you my top firms in this video. But I think for you as the listener, if something I say here maybe doesn't align with you, definitely go to propfirmmatch.com, use the link in the description, and that's going to give you a ton of information, more than I probably want to cover in this video because I don't want to keep you here for 3 hours, right? The big thing with Prop Firm Match is you can compare futures and Forex firms. We're going to focus on futures firms today. My top firm, the one I've taken my payouts from so far this year and closing out last year, is Top One Futures. That's where we're going to start today. So as you can see, there are exclusive offers at the time of this video listed at the top of the futures page. Those offers may change, but if you scroll down, you'll see the entire list of firms. Now we're going to start with my favorite, like I said, Top One Futures. If you follow my stream, you know I've been trading with them since launch. I think their live offering is awesome. I think that there's pros and cons to every firm. The Top One Futures crushes it with their one-step instant funding kind of model. I think they also have a competitive eval, but for someone like me, I do instant funded accounts. I took a bunch of payouts with Top One so far here. As you can see, this is the back end dashboard. I've taken a lot from their live account, which is these numbers you see here. But if we go back into 2025, the end of the year, and into the summer of last year, you can see those sim payouts as well. So I've kind of tasted both sides of the coin with Top One Futures. I think that they have great account offerings, but specifically the instant funded is where I found most success. I would say with any instant funded account, they're going to have a consistency score, which is a drawback for some of you. I think a consistency score can actually make you a better trader because it makes it so you can't just swing for home runs. I don't recommend swinging for home runs. If you look at the payouts that I've taken, I'm not hitting home runs, right? We're base hits, accumulate, really become a day trader. Don't become this like guy that's searching for a 10x win every day. So I think if you get into that mindset as a day trader, I can help you. If you come on our stream, I'll show you how to do that. If you get into that mindset, these instant funded accounts, nothing really beats it. Top One Futures wins that. I also think Top One Futures wins in customer support. Like there's a lot of things you can say about firms when it comes to getting back to their traders. I will actually say one of the firms I'm going to mention is not that great in customer support. They're better, they're getting better, but Top One just knocks it out of the park, really. I think the biggest con that I can say with Top One Futures is in the live account, I have a contract cap. So they gave me a $15,000 pre-live, they call it, account, but I can only trade one mini. So that is a drawback. I know some of you like trading with size, but you give up the size for the daily payouts, for the no consistency score, for the huge loss limit. You know what I mean? So it's pros and cons. But Top One, I love the guys that run the company. That's a big thing, right? They had success as Top One traders, then Top One Futures naturally is also doing extremely well. I think that they're over $20 million in total payouts, and they haven't even been in business a full year yet. So I think that's pretty impressive, you know? Now, the second company I'm going to talk to you about has been around a lot longer. If you look here, they actually show you years of operation, right? Top One Futures still says 0. The second company is going to be Take Profit Trader. Now, Take Profit Trader is the, in my opinion, most underrated company on Prop Firm Match's website. I think for the amount of platforms that they offer, which as you can see here, is over 10 different trading platforms. I think for that reason alone, let alone the fact that you can get to daily payouts with them, they have a great copy trading model. Like the fact that they offer so many account types is a huge win, especially when you look at some firms like Top Step and Aqua Futures. They're only offering one trading platform to trade on. I do not recommend trading on just one platform that may be controllable by the firm or whoever owns it. I would want to be able to have options to trade. So, you know, when you're trading a live account, especially, you're getting that true market experience, not some manufactured environment. So I like Take Profit Trader a lot for their years in business. I like their instant daily payouts, not instant, daily payouts once you get to the Pro Plus accounts. And I like the offerings, like so many different platforms, not just Tradevate, even to trade on. MotiveWave, I think, let's see if we click this, it'll tell us. Yeah, they offer some of these ones I've never even heard of, right? Volfix, RTrader, a lot of different platforms that you can use. So Take Profit Trader, Number 2 for me, I think super underrated at 3.6. If you deep dive this, you can see they've been around for a long time. So the long standing in business means that they know how to get things done. Now, con for them, the customer support used to be really slow, but it's definitely gotten better. Now, I've actually interviewed their CEO, James, on my podcast before. I really liked him. I think he's a super sharp guy. And I think that's why they've improved, and they constantly do good marketing, do good advertising. They don't get into the drama, and they deliver. Like, the payouts hit with no problem. So I think the Pro Plus account should definitely be on your radar. So Top One Futures, take Profit Trader. And then my third firm that I'm going to recommend is my buddy Matt Leach. Matt has run My Funded Forex. They sold. He then focused on My Funded Futures, and they're crushing it. They have the most hearts here on Prop Firm Match. They've been in business for 2 years, ton of trading platforms to trade with. Most importantly is they have a lot of account offerings. If you come in here, you can not just read about their, commissions, consistency rules, and everything like that, but they have a lot of different accounts that you can trade. They offer copy trading. They offer everything that all the other firms do, but just with more options of how to get funded through instant funding, through evals, all of that. So I think My Funded Futures is really like a wide range of options. If you don't know where to start, it may be a great place to start as well. Top One Futures has a couple of account types, but I think still you get a little bit more variety with what My Funded Futures does in terms of like how much is your max daily loss versus how much is your profit target versus how often can you take payouts. All these prop firms have gotten so competitive on how to offer us different ways to get to payouts. So it's cool to see firms like My Funded Futures getting creative and offering unique offers like that. But I still think, even though I've given you my top 3 in this video, I still think you should come to Prop Firm Match, go over some of the reviews of what people are saying here as well. Don't just trust the 3 that I recommended. Check out the other ones as well. But I think you should, take these reviews very seriously. I know the guys that are running Prop Firm Match, excuse me, Zach, who streams for me on ASFX TV, he streams for them every day. Zarb. I think the people that are running this company are above board. So if they're saying these firms are 3.8, 3.9, I would take that seriously. If they're saying these firms are 4.7, 4.4, 4.6, I would take that seriously too. That's why I'm super happy to have them as a sponsor of the Day Trading Show. And that's why I'm hoping that you guys will now use this video as a really good reference point. Start here, deep dive it, and find the firm that's best for you. Again, I'm working with Top One Futures, but I think all these firms are great in their own ways. Some of them, though, definite red flags, and Prop Firm Match is the place that you can go to stay on top of it. If things are going wrong, like I said, they are the first ones to get ahead of it. If a firm has any reason to throw red flags, Prop Firm Match seems to get ahead of the curve and tell us, which is, I think, the most important thing. So check out the link in the description to this video. Head to propfirmmatch.com and then use the code MATCH with whatever accounts you decide to purchase. That'll give you the best discount possible. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss this weekend's podcast. I appreciate you guys staying through the episode, and I'll see you in the next video.
First thing we're going to talk about is something everyone in here already said that they have felt, which is FOMO. So, Tanner, since you were speaking first, I'm going to have you kick us off here. You didn't really touch on FOMO too much in the presentation. Can you give tactical advice on this first question of how you handle FOMO? First, as a trader, and then as a coach. So as a trader, when you feel FOMO, how do you react?
So when I see my setup go without me and I get FOMO, the first thing I look at is number one, location. Can I still get involved? Does it logically make sense for me still to get involved? Maybe a little chased, it really depends how far gone it is, obviously, but I look at the risk. And that's why, I showed you guys earlier today too, how I look at risk, and I look at those really tight structures, because if it is a little far gone past my entry, I can still get involved and just lower my size, right? So it's like I accept that risk and I widen my stop so I can still potentially get involved. If it is so far gone, I just know, and you all know too, right when you go long, it's going to reverse. Every time you're like, okay, well, no, okay, it's still going.
Especially after it's already moved and you say to yourself, it's kind of high right now.
Yes,
right.
Exactly. And so this is something where I like to look at how far have we gone to where are we potentially going? And it's not a set specific number, because obviously the markets can do whatever they want whenever they want. But if NQ's already ripped 150 points from my entry, I'm like, I'm going to go, Tanner, you're going to get screwed. Don't do that. Don't do that. So taking a step back and logically trying to walk myself through it. Like I said, I like to talk to myself a lot when I'm trading. People are like, you'd think I'm nuts, because I'm like, all right, Tanner, no, that's going to hurt you. That's going to hurt you. So actually trying to take a step back. One thing I got from one of my mentors that helped me a lot is, if you do get in a trade and you're just incorrect right away, you try to actually physically take a step back from your desk and you go, okay, is my read wrong? Is my read wrong? So
And
being-
even that, the act of looking, like stepping back physically, helps a lot. I like that. Let's go tactics. Isaac, you want to go? Any tactics on handling FOMO? You're in Tanner's position. You see a trade. You went to take a shit. You missed the entry. You're like, oh my God, dude, this is my setup and I missed it. The dog shit on the floor. I have to go clean it up and I missed the trade. What's a tactic for handling that other than getting up and walking away? Turn that on. Turn that on. Yeah. Clip that up.
Testing 1 2. All right, we're good. So even if I had to take a shit, I wouldn't miss the trade per se because I always let the market come to me, right? I set my limit orders exactly where I want to get in.
Hold that mic close.
Yep. Before I actually get into a position, I have my limit orders set. If I'm on Tradeovate, then I can see my exits on both sides, right? Because everybody's always prepared on where and when to get in, but no one really puts in the work on when to get out when you're wrong, when to get out when you're right. I have all of that predetermined before I even enter a position. That way, there's really no surprises unless something hits the wire. So if I miss an entry, it's not because I didn't have a limit order placed. It's I didn't have it placed in the right place, right? So there's usually two thoughts or two different types of emotions that I experience when that happens. It's either a good one because it's just like, okay, I was right. I just didn't get to participate. And there's nothing wrong with that. You should commend yourself when you're just like, okay, what I expected or anticipated happened. However, the bus left without me, right? And that's okay. But then there's instances where it's just like you got to reflect on, okay, why did I miss this? Was I being too cheap, right? Was I trying to get too good of an entry that I just put myself out of the play zone? Or was there something else at play that maybe I didn't observe? Or was there something that changed after I placed my limit order that did not allow me to participate? And then those are your opportunities to like learn from that. But I never have FOMO, right? Because like there's sometimes the best trade is the one you didn't take or the one you didn't get in. It's real easy to get, upset when you see it work out, right? But if I had gotten filled and it had went against me and I had taken a loser, right, then that's
You
a
would have
whole
been like,
another set
thank
of
you, dog,
emotions.
for pooping on the floor.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Go ahead, Joey.
So.
Yeah, I would say for me, I always ask myself, like, what's the rush? Like, why am I really in a hurry? Right? If I miss a move, and I'm feeling FOMO, what's the root of that? Why am I feeling FOMO? Number one answer is I want to make money. And a setup happened, price is moving in the way I thought it was going to go. And I'm afraid and I'm kind of pissed off that I'm not in it and I'm not making money. Right? So the root cause of that is you're not making money. Now, you also have to understand that the market always provides opportunities. This is not going to be the only opportunity that you see in that day, or if it is, so be it. You have tomorrow, right? One single trade, yet alone one single day, isn't going to dictate your entire week, right? And so understanding that, just taking the step back, I'm not in a hurry. I know there's going to be another opportunity is the most important part of that.
All right, Ev, let me go to you. We trade together. Great answer, Joey. All of you. We trade together every day, Evan. So a trade happens. What's the first thought in your head when it moves without you?
Fuck.
Exactly. Okay. It's funny, but I knew he would say that. How do we fix the internal self-talk like that? Because I think it starts there. When you go, fuck, I missed it. And that was mine. I think we have to assess that self-talk of fuck, it was mine. It was my move. That's my setup. Is it? Thoughts?
Well, I think it comes down to knowing your own plan. Let's just pretend it presents 3 times in a day. That sometimes you can say, fuck, like that was one of the opportunities. I didn't maximize on it. How many more entries am I going to get today? That could have been the only one. Obviously, that's not the way we trade with the VWAP, at least. There's plenty of these opportunities that I think it's a matter of knowing what you don't do well, more importantly, that I know, like what Tanner was saying, if you jump in too late and it just a point of drawdown, you're going to start questioning yourself, want to pull it out early. You know, I shouldn't have been in this. I jumped in late. That's how it quickly spirals. So it's not worth it for me to jump in and risk that tilt that could just from one candle. That if I know the market can come to me slowly, and if I could take it, I'll be able to perform better because I was calm when I did it. FOMO is so quick that you're feeling like it's moving every second without you. You have to decide right now. But it's not. Let the next trade come back to you. That way you can just probably perform it better and execute it better. But if you're operating from FOMO, then you're really probably more likely to screw up when you're in the trade, even though it might have won, but you executed it mid-trade, pulled it early, oversized, got back in again, and then, fuck, I tilted again just because I couldn't wait for the next move to present in 20 minutes. So you got to think 30 minutes from now, is this really going to rip all day without me? Probably not. I could just game plan. What do I need to see next? I missed this plan. Fuck. What do I need to see next to get involved into the next move so I don't miss that one? Because why did I miss that one? Maybe I was off the desk, but if you're like Isaac was saying, overthinking it, trying to be too smart, well, then reflect on that. Why didn't I take that setup? If you were watching it and you missed it, that could be a problem. But then just game plan the next one. There's going to be 100 trades a day, a week, a month. This next one, you're not even going to remember it. So you don't need to chase this one because it's not going to be your end all be all. There'll be another trade in an hour.
How many times have we felt FOMO? Maybe you guys can relate. You feel it. You're like, oh, it's happening without me. And then you do take the break that one day. You're like, you know what? All the guys that are the trading coaches, they say take a break when I feel the FOMO. So today I'm going to get up and take the break. And it actually works. And then you come back and find a sick trade. How rewarding is that? You did what you were supposed to do and you got paid. I believe the market has I always joke, it's like the universe inside the market. It has like, it feels energy. When you're breaking the rules, the market knows. And what's she going to do to you? Slap this shit out of you. When you follow the rules, like an example would be you're in a winning trade, it turns against you, goes into drawdown, doesn't hit stop loss, comes back to entry. It's not working. And you cut a piece of it like you're supposed to do. That trade ends up going back the way you're supposed to. Or you double down or you hold it, guaranteed stop loss. The market knows. So I think you have to come into it from a perspective of like being humble almost to the market to avoid FOMO. Respecting the market, knowing that walking away, like these guys are saying, and creating space can literally save you thousands of dollars that day, hundreds of thousands of dollars over your career. Let's talk for a second, unless you guys have anything else for FOMO. Any questions on FOMO? Any thoughts? Anyone struggling with FOMO every day and you want to talk about it? Yeah, that would be, I'm sure everybody would raise their hand for that one.
I'll just add one more thing. For people that trade with others, as most of us are in a community or even on a live stream, just because someone else is in the trade, I do not care because one, they don't know it's going to be a winner. Two, if I don't know exactly who they are or why they're in it, I can't say that I should be in it just because they're in it. They don't know where it's going. They look at different levels. They're looking at a different asset. He's using Bookmap. Well, that's not part of my plan. So I can't.
You can't even read.
I really can't. That there's so many times where they're saying, oh, there's a view up in your way. I don't use that one. So you might be right. It could be valid. It could hurt my trade, but I don't weigh that in my plan currently. So you're not going to talk me out of what I'm seeing right now. I still need to do what I follow. And then maybe if it burns me enough times, I'll say, you know what, that VWAP just keeps making me lose. I'll add it into my plan.
We'll pick on that because now I guarantee someone here is thinking, where'd you get that level of stubbornness and confidence to not get distracted when I'm in a trade or when Isaac, someone else in the chat is in a trade? How do you stay locked in of like, I don't care?
I don't know why they're in and I don't know what they're doing to get in or when they're looking to get out. So I can't be relying on someone else to feed me my success. I mean, you want to learn from everyone of, hey, Isaac, why'd you get in that trade? And why'd you get out there and not hold it a little bit longer? So then if you start to understand why he's in the trade, then you could belong in that trade next time. But for each time that someone just jumps into a level, I know, well, it might win. There's plenty of times on stream where someone says they're taking a trade and I'm like, yeah, I think it probably goes higher.
Me.
But it's just not my setup that I'm like, well, if it loses, I'll feel like a jackass just because I jumped in because Austin got in because I mean, he's not going to take responsibility for my actions.
No.
That it's like, okay, yeah, he got in for different reasons. He's got a different risk tolerance. His account has a bigger buffer, so maybe he's playing more aggressive today. I don't fucking know. So I just have to trade what I'm seeing, what I'm feeling, and then look to learn, I guess, afterwards of what did you see that I didn't see and vice versa.
Who wants to chop in on that about not getting distracted when other people are in a trade?
So this is a really good question because I'm sure all of you have been involved in this at some point because I was, especially early in my trading career, is call outs, right? You're in some Discord or something. Okay, you know, I'm buying Apple calls here at this, you know, and then they sell it like W's in the chat, bro. Okay, whatever. So
are you making fun of me because I said the W's in the chat?
Yeah.
W's in the chat, bro. W's in the room. Everybody made money. What do you mean?
So it really changed for me when I started to, you know, I'd follow some of those because of course you follow, you're like, oh, this guy's experienced. I'm gonna take his trades, you know, it's gonna make me money. But then you realize that they still are gonna be wrong. And like, you know, you have that one day where, you know, they've been crushing it, ripping it. And you're like, okay, cool. I'm going to throw an extra, especially when I traded options, I'm going to throw 3K into this instead of 500. Like, you know, and then all of a sudden that one is wrong. And you're like, damn it, I just lost so much money. And once you start looking at like, does this make sense to me? Because I finally started to like cross that path when I used to do that, where someone would have a trade call out and I would be like, okay, let me try to break it down and see if it makes sense. Because that's also like, you trying to actually learn, right? Like we're here to learn. Like the goal should be to be a self-sufficient trader. You can come into the charts. You're not relying on anyone's game plan, anyone's live stream or anything. Like you want to create your own trading business. And while you're in the developmental phase, if someone has a call out or something and you can learn how to assess it, look at, does this make sense? And then if it does, you can take it, or finally you cross that bridge where you go, I don't understand this. This doesn't make sense. I'm not going to take it. And you just don't. And you're just content because you just don't care where it goes because it doesn't make sense to you. So once you can cross that and really get that concept of like, is this something that makes sense to me? Okay, I will take it. It's gonna maybe add conviction, or I have no idea what this is. I'm not just gonna hop in blindly. That's gonna helps flip the script.
I would just say connect what he just said to chart markups and journaling, right? Oh, Tanner's in a trade. I don't know why he took it. I'm going to mark it up and study it. I might find something I like. I might find something I hate. Either way, if I can pull some value from it, either what to do or what not to do, I consider that learning. And I think over time, when you sit here and listen to him say that, you go, well, how do I even get to some of you are probably thinking, how do I get to the point of confidence that I know this is mine or this isn't mine? Markups, self-study, asking for feedback from other traders, right? How would you be able to be confident in a setup if you did not practice it and study it, even the ones that you don't take? Follow me? Questions so far before we get into another point here. Anything on FOMO? Okay. Isaac, you want to add something or no?
No.
Okay. Save it.
Yeah.
Okay. So second thought here from FOMO. I want to talk about red days. Okay. We'll go to you first, Joey, and then we'll go to Isaac. We know everybody takes losing days. So Joey, first, maybe share a red day that you had a really tough time. You don't have to share the amount of money if you don't want to, but could you just speak on like how that sucked and how you got over it?
Yeah. Well, we all hate red days, and something I've always said and preached, and even to this day, like I still have my battles with red days. I think every single trader has battles with red days, right? As humans, we're naturally wired to not want to be wrong, right? We hate being wrong. That goes against our very human nature of accepting that we're wrong, right? And so if we're able to train our brains to think and to understand and be okay with being wrong, the quicker we're able to accept those red days. I know for me, when I have a red day that is much larger than what I'm comfortable with, I have a huge urge to want to continue trading to at least get some of that back. And raise your hand if you've done that. If you've had a massive, everybody in this room, right?
Sure.
Everybody in this room has had a red day where they just couldn't stomach it and they want to continue trading and get it all back. The issue there is that if it does work for you, now you're programming your brain to think this works, and you're going to do that shit over and over and over again until it just stops working, right? So again, the quicker you can train your brain to be okay and accepting those red days, the quicker you're going to stop blowing those accounts on those red days and be okay with it and continue the rest of your week.
Great point, but you didn't tell us a story about your loss. So I'll go to Isaac. I'll spare you, even though you didn't answer. Isaac, give us a story. Tell us how much money you lost on a bad day and how you got over it. Tell us you went to the gun range and the strip club and the cigar all on the same day. You hit everything in one. Come on, give us the real truth.
So I only do things like that, right? Like usually I did this a lot in the beginning. Anytime I had a really bad losing day, I would treat myself to an extravagant lunch. So I'd go to like Capital Grill, $90 for like a burger and fries and a glass of wine. And that allowed me to reset to come back the following day, right? You get on this tangent, you go like throw weights around like Tanner, you go to the gun range and blow off some 300 blackout. And, I think that actually compounds the problem. You have to understand that losers are part of the process, losing trades, losing days, losing weeks. We talked about this on your podcast. And contrary to what you say, I actually love being wrong. I love being right more. But I love being wrong because when I'm wrong, that means that there's an opportunity for me to learn, firstly, and an opportunity for me to improve, right? And that's what we should always be striving for in our personal lives and our professional lives in our trading. Always looking for ways that we can be 1% better because you compound that over time. Like that meme, it's like 10x that shit, and then I'm kicking your butt. It's just like, and you're just constantly looking for like little tweaks. And it's really those little differences. I think that like this much effort and change gives you this much greater results compared to everybody else, like the average person. So, just a couple weeks ago, I was on a little bit of a losing streak.
Here we go.
a little bit of a losing streak. It was like 3 or 4 days in a row, and turned around and ended up having like pretty much my 5th biggest trading day ever, which was Friday of last week. And the second half of the month, some of you guys who follow me, so I put on Instagram last night. It was almost 40 grand in the last 15 days basically of the month. So it's like you got to let time take its course, right, and play out, and things ultimately smoothen out in the long run.
You segued into my next question.
Yeah.
So I'll go to Ev and then we'll go back down the list. Great point, Isaac. Great point, Joey. How much time do you give after a big loss? Let's just start with max daily loss day. Does everyone in here have a max personal daily loss? It's okay if you don't. You're just full port every day. Who has a max daily loss they will not allow themselves to lose? Okay, cool. Ev, you hit max daily loss. How much time do you give yourself off the desk? Like, actually talk us through a day. You go to the gym, see your girl. Like, what are you doing?
Do until what? My next trading session?
Until you pick up the next trade. Could be the next day, could be the next week. I'm asking you to tell us, how much time do you need to process the loss? How do you figure out how much time you need to sit with that thing?
Yeah. So everyone's going to be different. That you have to really be honest with yourself. Of the next day's trading session, let's say, you have to be honest with yourself the best you can to ask, did I accept yesterday's loss? Or am I still having it overhang and lead into today's trading, right? Because so many times, oh yeah, I put that loss behind me. It's fine. I'm ready to trade today. But they're really not. They're just still angry that they lost so much yesterday. So it's another max daily loss day. So you have to be aware of your own, how much are you really putting it behind you? But for me, I would say a day by now. It used to be, if I went on tilt one day, it's probably going to happen the next day and the next day. But through time, you try to limit that to 2 days, then the 1 day. And I would say, first off, for like a big loss, before max daily losses even hit, I would not just jump right back into the next trade. I'd say give myself at least an hour, get off the desk and reset. Don't even look at what's happening. Of if it came back in my direction and I would have been right, that's very dangerous. So I think give yourself a time hour. And then for the max day loss, once that's hit, you're done for the day. Journal it tonight once you're now not emotional about why you got in, why you got out, what happened, what could I have done better. Put it behind you and then come back later when you are level-headed again to talk about the trade. And then hopefully by the morning, you're ready to unbiasedly trade again. And then if you're not, say, you know what, I am still pretty aggravated because I was so close to a payout and I had a max daily loss day. I feel myself wanting to trade already. It's pre-market and I just want to trade. All right, well, then you probably didn't put it behind you. Give yourself maybe another day off or an hour. Pause the account, something, because you didn't put it behind you.
Something. Go ahead, Isaac.
Yeah, so you have to have rules for when things don't go your way. And it's a little tricky. Like if you don't have a clear and defined strategy or process or systems, it's a little bit harder to do this. But I have set rules. If I have 2 losers back to back, I'm done for the day. Whether that resulted in me hitting my personal daily loss limit or not, 2 in a row, that means one of 2 things. Either A, the current market environment is not optimal for my strategy and system, or B, my head's not in the right place. And of course, C is it could be a combination of the 2 things. So 2 losers back to back, I walk away, right? Usually that third trade is a scratch, meaning I might have had a winner, then a loser, right? We're going to leave this to best out of 3 or the other way around. Loser, then winner, right? Best out of 3. And that usually always happens before my daily loss limit because the way that I have things structured is that if I take 2 losers back to back, that should put me $500 less my personal stop daily loss limit. And you guys have to have those parameters and those restrictions and those training wheels and those guardrails all built into your terminal or your platform, because if you leave it up to you, you're going to fuck up every time, right? The less that you can leave up to you and your decision making, and you make it less mechanical and more automated, the less problems you're going to have in the long run. So like daily loss limit, that's an easy one, right? You hit it, you're locked out for the day, you come back the next day. But I put myself on a 1-week timeout before. I had the risk team of the prop firm that I've traded with for almost a decade now. They put me on a 2-week timeout. They said, we're restricting your account for 2 weeks, take a breather, come back. I came back, I crushed, right? So, if you're not working with a risk desk, especially if you're not in the live environment, you might not necessarily get that hand holding or that micromanagement, but just that other thing to kind of like, get you back on course. Trading is a lonely business. That's where, some of these communities really come into play because they can help keep you accountable and help you become more consistent, more disciplined, and so on and so forth. But it's okay to walk away from trading. Like I said, they put me on a 2-week timeout, 10 trading days. And then I can come back and kind of start where I left off. And it was in a better place for sure.
Go ahead, Tanner. I would just add to that real fast. Hot or not, everybody. It's cool to walk away when you're hot. It's cool to walk away when you're not. I got a lot of guys that run hot and burn out.
New Year's resolution for me, 2023, was that if I had 4 trading days winning in a row, so like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I take Friday off.
I love that. I
Right.
just don't. I
4-day
know
work
so
week.
many people. I'm sure you guys have them too. Like they do really well, and you've seen it before, like through the coaching, and you're like, oh, dude, I know you're hot.
Right
You're
around
not
the
going to
corner.
stay that
Yeah.
way, though, buddy. Nobody does. Go ahead.
So on the concept of limits and max loss, story time, my worst day ever. It was my 3rd year of trading. I had like just barely became profitable. Was all stoked. And I remember it was February and I was up over $14,000 trading options that month. And it was like 4 days away from the end of the month. And I was like, oh, dude, this is epic. I'm crushing it. Friday comes along and I just decided to trade some 0DTE SPX. And if any of you know, I've been down that rabbit hole. It's a rabbit hole. So I
That you may
lost-
not come out of.
Yeah, that you may not come out of. So up 14 grand of the month. It was also going to be my first 5-figure month of my career. And I lost 700. Then I lost 1,400. And then I was down 2,500. And then I was down 3,700. And then I ended the day down $5,000, not of sim money, of real cash. And that was my worst day ever. And that's when I was like, holy shit, how did I just let that happen? How did I let that happen? It's because I didn't have guardrails. I think I got away one too many times that month as well. I probably had a couple days where I was maybe down like 1,100, then I clawed back and I was fine. But it's like having that hard limit actually really does save you. It's the whole concept of like, when you build those bad habits and tell yourself it's okay, it's just a matter of time before that day comes around the corner and just kicks you in the face. So I remember that happened. And then, of course, I self-sabotaged my 5-figure month and I ended the month. I think the day after that too, I lost another 2 grand. So I lost like 7K in 2 days. And I was like, oh my God. And that really, really hurt. And it took me like a whole week of, luckily I'm pretty good about like every single day is a new day. I will say after a big loss, for sure it's on my mind. Like definitely I'm like, oh shit, I did this yesterday or whatever it is. Especially if you're close to a prop firm payout. I'm sure you guys have been there where you're like really close. And then
That's
have
the worst, bro.
you have a red day and then the next day is red. And then you start going into panic mode. And you're like, oh shit, dude, I was real close. I don't want to fuck this up. And so, coming into the session and asking yourself like, today's a fresh day, right? Like what's going to happen today? Pull it back, slow it down. Because once you kind of create that rift in your losing and like put the hard fork in it, and then maybe your next day, you make $200, $300. The day after, same thing, $300, $400. You start to kind of build back that momentum on the other side, and you remember, like, okay, yeah, this is what I need to do. So it's so unique and different for everyone. But last thing I'll add on this is, I forget the name of the trade. I think it's Tom Cantfield.
Yeah.
Okay. So Tom Catfield, really great trader, big on Twitter.
Well, he used to be. He's gone now.
He's gone now. Yeah. So when he used to post a bunch, he told the story about how he took this massive loss.
500 grand
Yes.
in Apple.
Yes.
And then he
on
went
the
to
skiing
Colorado.
trip.
Yeah, he went to
Yes.
Colorado. Some of you know this story. And then he came back and he started trading Apple small, still couldn't get his feet under him, and then went and took another break and went to Colorado by himself for like a month without his wife and kids and just zenned out in the woods for a little bit until he could find himself.
Yeah. And
Chuck's laughing. Chuck's like, dude, I want to do that, bro. Let's fucking go.
The whole point of that, is like, it takes everyone a different amount of time. But the cool thing about him is he was being really objective and honest with himself, saying like, I'm just not ready to get back to it this second. It's not like he's quitting. He's just very aware of like how he is normally performing usually as a trader versus like where he is now. And it's that concept of self-regulation because all of us are going to go through dry spells. We're all going to go through periods where you're in drawdown. Some of the best traders I know, like literally they're multimillionaire traders and they go into these periods where they lose for 7 to 8 months in a row. And like you think, oh, that can't happen. You're 10 years in. That's impossible. Like, no, it can.
And it actually happens with more money.
Yes, it happens a lot more.
If you do your job right, you will take bigger losses the longer you trade. With me on that? Right. Okay. How many of you think Tanner had to lose that money in the options trading to become the version he is now? How many of you have taken a few burns on the stove and feel like you're building the callus? Yeah, you probably need more.
You'll
I
feel-
know, I
you'll
know a
feel-
guy.
You're talking to people who coach trade. We talk to traders more than we talk to our women. I'm serious. And my son sometimes. So like all we do is talk with traders. I'm telling you, even when you think you've kind of got the callus built and you're like, I think I know how to control my emotions. Guarantee you that week or that day, the market's going to self-check you a little bit. So I think the big thing from these losses, and then Isaac, you go, is just their tuition. You have to pay to play. Who here has gone to college? Okay, who's doing what their degree is for? Oh, see, that's the fucking thing right there. Not two hands. You know what I'm saying? So tuition is mandatory, but it doesn't lead to a designated outcome. Follow me? Just like college. Got a political science degree, you still end up working in IT. You feel me? So now as a trader, you come to the market and you pay tuition. You're not going to go to class, you're going to take losses. But it comes to the perspective that we're trying to share with you here of how to be a better loser, learn from those losses, and take less of them before you become profitable. The whole goal of everything I do is to make it so you guys make money before or in a shorter amount of time than it took me to make money. You feel me? Cool. Good, Isaac. Got it? All right. Yeah, it's the tuition. It's the tuition. You got no student loans. You got none of that. It's real cash. Okay. Yes, please. Especially this guy. Go ahead. Great question.
Yep. So I'm big on receiving coaching, right? Like I'm a good coach, but I'm very coachable. And I've worked with a lot of business coaches, performance coaches, personal counselors, relationship counselors, so on and so forth. It's a consistency thing. I tell people all the time, I'm like, how can you expect consistency as far as your results and your performance if you're not consistent in your behaviors and your actions?
Mic
Right?
drop.
You can't expect consistency in whatever you're involved in if you're not consistent yourself, right? So it's just a discipline thing, right? Like it's not a belief, it's a command, right? And it's like you have to respect yourself and the business enough to accept your rules. Like just accept, all right, I was wrong. This day didn't work out for me. God blesses me and I wake up tomorrow to have another crack at this, I'll do it again. That's it. And you learn, unfortunately, like you said, right? Like my whole design with like my Discord, my community, my coaching is like learn from the mistakes that I made, learn from my experiences. So you don't necessarily have to go through them yourself. However, most people learn through friction and an ass beating, right? So, everyone has to go through their own journey and their own process. However,
Multiple.
when there's shortcuts, right? Take them.
Yeah.
They're there. Somebody else paid tuition. That means you can get in at a discount, right? So
Dude, how many mic drops in one little rant right there, bro? Jesus Christ. Save some for the rest of us. Go ahead. You got something, Joey?
He just covered it.
Yeah, that was good. The thought, or get a little feedback. The thought about performance, consistency, routine, as you mentioned it there. You made me think of this thing I used to say all the time. I want to be consistently persistent. Nobody says that. They kind of mean the same thing, but they also don't. Like I'm going to be persistence to me is like annoying about my goals. I'm going to be relentless. Persistence is like, I'm not giving up until you kill me. So I want to take that to the next level and be consistently persistent. So that's what you made me think of there. When we think about consistency in general, you spoke about it a lot. Yeah. What do you
I
got?
was gonna say, in the learning curve, you need to be consistently resilient.
That's good too. Yeah. With just that word consistency, it's such a buzzword in trading. Let's talk about routines. Let's talk about like structure that leads to good performance. I talked about Kobe Bryant in the beginning. We all know Kobe was in the gym every game, 4 hours before. Other people are still waking up from their nap, right? That drive, that ability to commit and respect yourself. I love that you said it like that. Like respect yourself enough, Lawrence, to just be like, I don't do that anymore. I don't identify with that person, but that takes the shift. And you said that like the routines and the things that you do day to day all feed into that performance. So let's go around and just talk a little bit about day to day things that you do to make yourself feel that you should have that level of respect for yourself and not waver from it, not disrespect yourself. You want to go first? Since you spoke about it, we all know you're going to say deadlifting 800 pounds or whatever.
Yeah, that's the
720.
720, sorry.
secret. So the day-to-day routine of like things you do and the idea of like what gives me energy, right? This is actually a concept I've been like working with and thinking about a lot, because when we take losses, especially, or when you don't follow your plan or when you screw up, think about how shitty you feel the rest of your day. Like I know we're all trying to work on it and like not feel like that, but like it drains you, right? You don't have energy for the rest of your day. So once you start doing what you're supposed to do, and you have to practice this on a loss day, especially a max loss day, you hit your max loss, you're frustrated, but you accept it and you move on. And then you're like, oh, my whole day isn't ruined now. Like I have energy still. And so I've been thinking about this concept of like, what gives me energy? What makes me feel good, right? Obviously, at this point in my health fanaticness, like I know eating whole foods like really gives me energy, makes me feel good. I know getting good sleep makes me feel good.
Taking your steroids.
I know taking steroids makes me feel good. I know that like doing all these things makes me perform better and ultimately like thrive. So like find something that you can work on individually that maybe you're not doing. And of course, like the cool part about trading as well is it's also a concept of personal development. Whether you realize it or not, like it's literally a pursuit of trying to become a better version of yourself. And that's another cool part of like being an entrepreneur is like, we want to get better, right? Like we're not fucking average. None of you are average. We're doing hard shit. Okay. So yeah, come on. Give your all
That's what I'm saying. Like, come on, you got to
like,
feel that. That's why you're here.
We're not average. So we're trying to do something really, really tough and find areas in your life where you're lacking. And you're like, you know what? I could really work on that. And I love the concept of personal development because it's different buckets. So everyone neglects certain buckets in their life and you all know it, right? And everyone's is different. Some people say it might be their eating. It might be their sleep. It might be their partying. It might be their relationships, right? There's so many things where you're like, oh, I'm just not good at that. But it's like, but you can work on it and get better and you're neglecting it. So how can you find something that's going to like flip the script, give you energy and make you feel better? And so pre-market routine wise for me, like I was kind of talking about it earlier, but when I moved in my new apartment, I didn't really have a good like pre-market routine going on. I kind of noticed that and I was like, I'm kind of like all over the place. So ChatGPT is a great tool if you don't already know. I literally plugged in like, okay, here's when I trade, what I like to trade, how I want to do it. Here's some rules behind it. Build me a good pre-market prep routine to kind of get ready for the open. And it literally helped me step by step, being like, okay, like first thing, like I have it all detailed. Like first thing I do every single day is I wake up and I chug a glass of water. I know you're just like, okay, well, that's whatever. But like the first thing I do kind of wakes me up. And then I literally leave my apartment instantly and go get coffee. I have to walk and just like get my body moving a little bit. It helps me wake up. It helps me feel good. It gives me energy. Then get to my desk by a certain time, do my pre-market prep, go through everything, go through my scenarios, build like me feeling prepared, gives me energy. Execute. I win or lose. I respect my max loss. Doesn't matter. Gives me energy. Go on with what do I have to do the rest of the day? You know, I'm still an entrepreneur. I got to work on my business, make content, do that stuff. Gives me energy. Go lift. Gives me energy. So it's like, ask yourself where areas in your life that you can add to that will give you energy and what are you neglecting, right? You're all neglecting something.
Well said. Pass it to Joey. Let's keep going. Who here has thought about this though before? Who here is self-analyzing themselves to say like, what gives me energy? If you have not had that thought, don't raise your hand. I'm genuinely curious. Okay, cool. It's a really good self-awareness question. What are you doing, Joey?
Yeah, there's a lot of points here. Now, one thing I want to build on is I'm a big believer of I'm going to take care of myself for you, right? So as an example, for all the people that are married, say, you know, if you're a husband, you can't be a good husband if you don't take care of yourself. You can't be a good father if you don't take care of yourself, because all that bleeds into your happiness, right? And that will bleed into your relationships. The same thing for being a trader. If you don't take care of yourself mentally, you're not going to be where you need to be a good trader, right? All of that bleeds into one. And so one thing that I'm really big on is that trading isn't my entire life, right? I have other hobbies. I have other things that I love and I enjoy doing. And I find things that I'm good at. If I have a really big red day that just really turns my stomach over, if I hit a maximum loss day, I want to go find things that I know I'm good at and I enjoy, because it's going to take my mind off of that big red day. And I'm not going to come into the next day with it on my mind, right? I'm completely forgetting about it and focusing on the things that I'm good at and that make me happy in order to make myself a better trader.
Go ahead, Ev. You can go next. I think it's a great point, Joey, because it's like, why would I want, no disrespect to my wife or my son, but it's like, I come off the max loss day. It's 4 o'clock. She wants me downstairs at 4:30. You want me to just throw that away? Like, it's hard. Well, if I go take care of myself, I go hit the sauna for an hour, get in the cold plunge. Now I can come out of it. I literally feel like a different person. I feel like I've detached from the day and I can be my normal self. But we all get lost in the sauce. So you got to find a way to, not just what gives you energy, in a way like Joey said, what pulls you out and reminds you there's a bigger world out there than just the charts. Go ahead, Ev.
Yeah, I mean, I would totally agree with that. In the beginning of my trading, and for many everyone else, it's like your identity is your trading. Like someone would ask, "How you doing today?" And we're like, "Well, I'm in a trade. I'll let you know after. If I win, I'll be good."
Who's been there? Like the trade impacts your mood. It's crazy. We're laughing about it, but it is all of us.
Yeah, that you're letting the trading obviously dictate your life, but obviously, like he was saying, you're not your trading results even. That especially in the early going, you need to have other things to track your small wins. So it could be I worked out today, I ate good today. I didn't win on the trading desk, but I mean, 2 weeks ago I was over trading like crazy. I said I would stop. So yes, I haven't gotten a payout yet, but I haven't over traded in like 2 weeks. So like I'm still progressing. I'm still not seeing the results I want, but I am in a better position than I was 2 weeks ago. And so from 2 weeks from now, I hope to duplicate that again. But if you're just consumed by the P&L, even when it's green, it's unhealthy to just be, I made $2,000, so it was a good day. Well, how did you make that 2,000? Because if it was poor trading, then tomorrow's probably going to be poor trading again, but different results. So I think just tracking smaller wins off the desk, being a good husband, being a good father, but even just tracking things that you said you would do and then holding yourself to it, you could feel like, well, I've been doing all those disciplined things. I feel like if I get to the desk tomorrow, I should be able to be disciplined there because I've been keeping my word to my other things. But if you're not keeping your word on other things, then it's going to be very tough to do that in your own trading.
How you do one thing is how you do everything. You got anything, Isaac, on that?
No, just harping back on again, no consistency if you're inconsistent, right? I'm so routine. If you guys saw my calendar or my schedule on my phone, most of you would probably throw up. It's loaded. It's usually the same thing. Even my process and like pre-market prep and like choosing my levels and preparing for setups, it's exactly the same every single day. And for those of you guys who follow me on Instagram, you see my stories. It's like obvious. Isaac wakes up early, lets the dog out, makes a coffee, right? Does his pre-market prep, goes to meetings, have phone calls, smokes cigars, goes to the gym. Like it's just very, very routine. I'm happy with my life, right? That's why I do it day in and day out. And there's still things that I'm working for, but I understand this is the way that my day needs to look today in order for it to look the way that I want it to tomorrow or next year or 10 years from now. And just like understanding that good trading looks boring, right? So if you can find a way to make it fun, partners are tuning into something, like PW, DT, right? Some people absolutely hate watching their streams and whatnot because it's very loud or whatnot. But for some people, that's what helps. Again, it's a lonely business. And, you want to get excited with a big winner, right? And feel the emotions of like, having a loser, right? And being angry or sad or mad. But like, again, good trading is repetitive and it's very boring and that's perfectly fine. Not only perfectly fine, like I think that's the way it should be. If you're getting really excited with your trades, then you probably got to like dial it back a little bit and just kind of.
And like you said, we all want that. We want that excitement, but that's not going to feed long-term success. If you haven't had a big winner yet, we want you to experience that. But I really don't want you to experience too many highs because they'll lead to lows. You do want to be kind of in the middle of that bell curve. Go ahead, Anthony.
Well, it's funny that you ask.
So what Anthony said, if you didn't hear, is how do you handle winning days? What do you do? When do you stop? What do you do to process that? It's a great question. You want to go, Isaac?
Yeah. So a few things I'll touch on, right? How many of you guys currently work a full-time salary or hourly job with a schedule, right? Okay. And obviously I'm not going to ask what you guys make, right? But some people will go to work for 8 to 9 hours, plus the commute, plus getting ready, right? Plus the break. It's anywhere from like 10 to 13 hours, right? If you're a nurse, maybe you got like a 16-hour day or something, firefighter, and you'll do that for like $150 for the day when you look at like your hourly rate or your salary. And you'll be up on a trade, $800 in 3 minutes and not lock that shit down and not walk away. Like you'll slave at a job that you probably hate for a fraction of what you just made in minutes. And then you want to keep going. Like the idea of like getting into trading for me was to be able to buy more of my time, right? Because I was working jobs, trading my time for some money. Now I want to trade so that I can get more time back. So, one of the things for me, who was it that asked again over here, right?
Anthony, yeah.
I'm usually a one and done kind of guy. I say it all the time, OAD in my Discord, one and done, right? If it's a winner, right? 2 losers back to back, and then sometimes 3. And you'll see that with my trade reports later. Right. If I get one winner, especially if I get it fast, if I get like 7.5 to 15 points in like less than 10 minutes, I'm walking the hell away. That's it. I'm done. I know I got other shit to do. So it almost gives me a break between shutting down the trading terminal and then getting to whatever my next meeting or call or appointment or Zoom or whatnot. But Top One Futures, powered by Project X, there's a personal daily profit target. And I coach everybody in my Discord to have it set to a specific number that's in line with consistency rules on 150K. That way, if you cross that threshold and then peel back, it automatically liquidates, automatically blocks you for the day. Done deal. Again, automate these things, because if you leave it up to you, you're going to fuck up almost every single time.
Facts.
Automate it, have it coded in your terminal, have it coded in your indicators. That way you can't even make the choice. It chooses for you. $3,025. You exceeded it. You had 3,600. It comes back to 3,025. Liquidate, block, done. Walk away.
Let's stay on the winners. That's a really good point, because I was going to ask you guys, do you treat trading like a business or trading like a sport? Anthony, when you're playing a game, hockey, do you stop scoring? No, you just keep playing until the bell's in. In this sense, I agree with Isaac. I like treating it more like a business than a sport. You know, a lot of people will say, this was a saying going around for a little while, if the game is still on, keep shooting. That's not protecting gains. The market can change. So just because the markets are open doesn't mean it's time to participate. So we're going to talk in a second. Go sport sometimes, go business sometimes. Just like trading is an art and a science, it's the same thing. It's a business and a sport. So I think in this sense, you keep shooting. Who shoots 100% in anything, in any sport ever? Is there any statistic in sports about 100% in any, like nothing? You're a Hall of Fame baseball player if you hit 3 out of 10.
3.5.
3.5 out of 10.
40%.
So the more you shoot, I look at it as like a perspective of it's opening me up to more risk. You get me? So it's like I want to be defensive even in those winning positions.
Yeah.
It's well said.
Yeah, set windows of time though, right? Like you were saying, like the sports thing, right? You have to treat trading like a business because it is. If you're not treating it like a business, you'll never find success in it.
True.
Okay. Because as a sport, there's tons of professional athletes that you'll never know their name. They had an entire career, sometimes that lasts years, right? Because it's sport. However, you know, hockey, basketball, whatever, they keep playing until when?
End of the game.
When is the end of the game? When the clock runs out, right? Somebody sets that time. You have to have time limits. Anybody that's been in my Discord or is currently in my Discord, they know what time am I usually done trading? Usually 12 o'clock, done deal. So I'm so strict on that if I see a setup developing at like 11:40, I won't even take it.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, then there's a likelihood that I'm going to drag this out into 12, 12:30, 1 o'clock. There's a number coming out, lunchtime liquidation. You're at risk for tweets. News hitting the wire, and then it's just and it's an ugly day. Now it's 3 o'clock. You're making up from the loss.
Oh, you're stressed, bro.
That gets
literally
crazy.
is stress. Yeah.
You gotta have rules. For me, the latest I'll be in a trade. That means I was in a trade that I kept nursing along, win or lose. 1 p.m. That's maximum cutoff. But for me, 12 o'clock, I walk away whether I've taken no trades or not. And again, if I've taken none, and one really juicy one starting to set up, but it's like 11:35, 11:40, I'll just forego it sometimes. I'll come back tomorrow.
Go ahead, Joey.
To the point of, you know, when to walk away, especially for those that have a job outside of trading. When you make $1,000 in a day, or say $1,500, $500, whatever it is, right? Ask yourself, you know, what could I do with this extra money? Could I pay off debt? Could I take my family on a vacation? Could I do whatever, right? And ask yourself, do you really want to risk giving back that amount of money that you just made, knowing that you could extra you could do with that money, right? And so that's really kind of helps fight that greed aspect of trading, to where it's like, I made X amount, this is what I could do with it, so I'm going to keep it.
Well said. I'll add 2 things to that. The bandwidth that we have as traders is very different. The Black Shirt Club guys, we've talked about this. When you started trading, Anthony, or anybody in here, your ability to sit there and trade all day is very small. Your ability to make good decisions is a very small window. Emotions come into play, markets are moving, you're getting tossed around in a lot of different ways. Now, trading 10 years almost every single day, my bandwidth is way different. Ask that. Evan knows. I'll sit there all day sometimes and still not take a trade, even though I'm at my desk all day. Old Austin could never do that. If I spent that many hours at the desk, I would eventually take something. You follow me? So who here is maybe year 1 to year 3? Is anyone fresher than year 1? Nice. In those first 3 years, first 5 years, your bandwidth is probably 2 to 3 hours a day of live trading. And then probably an hour to an hour and a half of review. That's what I would aim for. Year 5, 6, 7, you probably can start opening yourself up if you want to trade more. That doesn't mean you're going to make more money. Would you guys agree with those? The bandwidth, the time frames?
Yeah, and I would just say it goes back to what Isaac was saying. Everyone almost forgets why they got into trading. Many of you, it's probably to escape your 9 to 5 So same thing like he was saying that I don't want to trade all day, even though I could potentially make more money. Bringing it back to the sports analogy of like trading is the only sport where the opponent isn't also scoring unless you take a trade. So if you're up 1-0, you don't have to keep on scoring to win the game.
That's a good point.
If you stop trading, the other team's not going to score. The market's not going to take your point back. So if you just call it there, you guarantee a green day.
One and done. Like when that's what we do. If we hit a good winner before 10 a.m., it's hard to get me to take another trade, to be honest, Anthony. Even if I'm sitting there at the desk, it is hard for me at this point to take another trade when I'm up, which is a bad thing in some ways because I could make more money. But I prioritize the idea that we talked about like earlier with you, Nick, is like stack. Yeah, today I made 600. I could have made 800. I made 1,000 today. I could have made 1,200. Well, that extra little bit is not worth the risk of continuing to trade versus the value that I get of the stacking of the green days. An $80 day is better than a red day. Yes? There's a hierarchy. Maybe you've heard me talk about it, right? Big green days, we all want that. Small green days, very important, right underneath that. Break even days, still very important. And then you have small red and big red. If we just avoid the big red days, everything else will work itself out. You'll have big green days without trying that hard. The market will work for you, just like you'll have small green days. But if you prioritize that hierarchy and avoid that bottom of big red, you're going to be good.
Don't worry about profit.
Ooh.
Just worry about having winning trades. A winning trade could technically be break even. That's a shitty trade, but it's better than a losing trade, right? Don't focus on profitability. Don't focus on dollars, right? Focus on the mechanics, the execution, the risk management. The dollars follow you.
It's a good answer.
Like you'll find profitability with that risk management. Quarterly.
I'd even say yearly.
Quarterly.
Yeah, because like markets change.
The year at the end of the day, it's the end of the year that matters.
That's all that matters.
Right.
Yeah.
But you want to be throwing up, and you're going to have, hopefully not, but you're going to have losing quarters.
Yeah.
Right. Like my worst month ever, I think I lost like $28,000, but my best month ever, I made like $72,000. Right. It's just like, you got to have a large enough sample size. For me, it's like, you want to just make sure that you're always putting up profitable quarters. Right. A losing month is fine. Losing weeks are definitely going to happen. Losing streaks are going to happen. But on a quarterly basis, especially if you have 2 losing quarters in a row, then you got to reassess
Something's
your strategy.
wrong. Yeah, that should not
The
be.
strategy
6
is
months
not
of
working.
losing straight, that's something wrong. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would just say like it is yearly, and I agree with Isaac, it's quarterly, but it's day to day. Keep that hierarchy in frame. If you're taking big losses every day, dude, something's wrong. That's not what trading is supposed to look like. So I think it's like keeping them. Anybody in here know Gary Vee? Any Gary Vee fans from back in the day? Gary used to say, macro patience, micro speed. I love that for trading. Day to day, I am locked in. I'm trying to follow the rules, the discipline, the structure that we're talking about. But if I have a red day here or there, kind of like I was saying to Anthony, I don't let it knock me off my macro patience, my macro goal, my big goal for the year, 5 years, 10 years. Anybody want to add on that?
I would just say one thing on most of you are obviously following one of us here, that you're not trading alone, but there is the say that if you're trading completely by yourself, that maybe your routine and your plan isn't good and like it's not going to come out of drawdown however you want to approach it, that having another set of eyes on your trading could help make some tweaks faster.
Facts.
Because there is no saying, well, this is my plan. If I just give it long enough, it should work itself out.
No.
There's no saying that. So if you
No,
get
it
another
could
set
suck.
of eyes on your trades, and then it could be like, yeah, you're doing everything right. I think it's healthy. Just give it more time. It's been now 3 months, but you're getting better each time. Then the plan is probably solid. You're just working your way through it. But there is such thing as, well, this plan makes no sense. No matter how long you trade this, it's not going to make you money most likely. So that's why you got to get around.
That's a great point.
As many of you are, you're doing the right thing. Asking others for feedback unbiasedly, because
Well, think about it like Tanner. How many powerlifting coaches have you gone through?
I've actually only had 2.
Still, though, you've had 2.
Yeah.
My thought here is, if let's
He
say
ate
it this
the
way,
last one.
huh?
No,
he ate
3.
the
He
last
he
one.
killed the last guy.
Yeah, 3.
Who here has asked a trader, not their wife or their boyfriend or something, who has asked a trader for feedback on their trades? Yeah. So I think you have to look at this as a perspective of like, I don't know it all. I need the feedback. If Evan looks at my trades and I lost and I go, I think I took a good trade, and he looks at it because he knows how I trade and he says that's a good trade, I can actually leave and not have that weight of the loss on me. I feel good about it. Well, then what if he tells me, dude, how did you not see this? The Delta was doing this, that? You're right. I need to pay more attention to that. I get to make a note of that. I get to bring my awareness to that, because I'm always a believer in like fixing trading issues. Step 1, self-awareness. Talk about it. Tell everybody about it. Put it on your t-shirt. Put it on your mirror. See it. Say it every day. Self-awareness is step 1 to solving any problem. So self-awareness only gets you so far. You need that outside feedback from people in order to grow. Like Tanner said, the outside people telling me I talk over people on my podcast. I don't have to listen to them though. You know what I mean? What are you going to say?
This is where the data comes in. This is like where all the back end work, documenting stuff, doing all that work. Like this is where it actually provides a lot of value, because if you are in a losing streak or you are struggling, it's going to be there in your data. It's going to be crystal clear, especially like in your journals, in your reviews. Like you're going to be doing the same thing over and over. I guarantee it, it's one or two things. And this is the crazy part of trading, where it's actually usually just one or two mistakes that we're doing that we need to really, really work hard on in order to actually flip the script and go the other direction. And too many people try to, like, I've dealt with some people with coaching where they're like, okay, I'm doing this. Okay, what next? What next? What next? I'm like, let's focus on this one thing for literally the next 3 weeks. You're still not dialing this one thing in. And it's like, once you start focusing on one thing that you can identify with your trading that is screwing you up and holding you back, and actually work really, really hard at that one thing to fix it, then all of a sudden you're like, oh shit, I'm flipping the script. I'm starting to go green. Like, I am treating it like a business. Things are turning around. So that's why I constantly preach that. Like, it's like, do the damn work. I know it's tedious and boring, but like, do it. It's actually going to help you.
And there's so many ties to weightlifting. You know what I mean? Like you go to the gym. Who here has gone to the gym and like gone home and looked in the mirror and been like, yo, I'm looking good. And you're fucking lying to yourself because you don't make the change in a day. But you were like, yo, I do look kind of good. I'm going to go back tomorrow. You don't see those improvements. You don't get to a 700-pound deadlift in a day. You see what I'm saying? So like when you talk about committing to something great, has anyone in here ever lifted that much weight? It's a very hard number to get to.
If you have, get out.
Yeah. But it takes a lot of time. How many years would it say did it take you to build to that level of being a power lifter?
Oh, over a decade.
Exactly. So trading is no different. The problem with this business is just you lose money along the way. Like you go be a doctor, you can suck and you still graduate and it says doctor next to your name. You come to trading, you say you're a trader, the only thing next to your name, it's blank, it's just losses. That's your tuition. That's what you're going to have to stand on. You know what I'm saying? Anything you want to add there, boys? I want tactics. Well, first, before we do tactics, questions for the guys about performance, mindset. Yeah.
Just reading confirmation. Like, I'm like, is this doing what I needed to do? And that's something that just comes with experience. So you can't really replace that, unfortunately. It just is screen time and experience. That is the biggest teacher. I've been looking at charts every single day for over 5 years. So when the market is doing what I needed to do, I go, oh yeah, this looks good. Okay, cool. This is doing what it should. This is doing what it should. And I'm like reinforcing and walking myself through that versus like, oh, that's not good. Like, you see like a sweep or reversal. You're like, oh, that's not good. That's not good. So walking myself through the trade. And that's why I will take some haircuts near the bottom right there, because sometimes it is a little tough. But if I just have a decent enough stop where I'm like, okay, it shouldn't clear this, but if it does, and then instantly reclaims right away again, I'm like, okay, I was just a little too early. Let me get back in. And then now let me confirm that it's doing what I need to do.
Good question. Yes.
I love this.
Look at Tanner's smile, bro. Go ahead.
So
Tanner.
I love this because I just love when I can talk about powerlifting. So in the sport of powerlifting, we go through I go through a week every like 4 to 5 weeks called a deload week. And it's scheduled in no matter what. It's because usually what you do is you build up all this fatigue, you're tired as fuck,